The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, 20, let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful.
McAfee all line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig! Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Indianapolis, Indiana. Outside of Gainbridge Fieldhouse, this is Game 4 Tuesday, May 27, 2025. This program starts now.
Pacers!
Are obviously alive and well here in Indianapolis, Indiana. What we have with this Pacers team is a collection of men that represent this city, this state, and this town so damn well. And although they lost Game 3 at home to the dumb New York Knicks after having a 20-point lead, they really gave it up. That has been the story of this particular Pacers team. Now, the Pacers have never won on Indianapolis 500 Sunday in the history of the Pacers. The Pacers have also lost Game 3s consecutively in multiple series in this particular run of the playoffs. But tonight, in this building that we are right outside of, there's about to be an electricity, a vibe, a feeling that is going to be felt through the television as the entire state of Indiana rallies behind Tyrese Halliburton and the boys. Jalen Brunson and this New York Knicks team are a bunch of dogs. They are certainly worthy of being Eastern Conference finalists. But tonight what you're going to see is the same thing you saw in Games 1 and Games 2. This Pacers team's going to get back on track with a great group of Hoosiers behind them ready to lose their mind. Now, it's not just me up on this stage. No, I'm lucky to be joined by a great group of men. Ladies and gentlemen, one half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone is here. Tone, a lot of people lost money on Sunday betting on the Indiana Pacers, especially whenever they were up 20. Thought it was a foregone conclusion that they were going to go up 3-0 and maybe a sweep this evening was in the works. Instead, the Knicks get a win. They steal one in Game 3. What's the money looking like this evening for the Gamblers of this Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah, Game 3 did not deter Vegas. They made Pacers the favorites again for Game 4. They are -2.5 tonight against the New York Knicks. I think if people are smart, they're going to go ride with the Pacers again tonight. First three series that they played, they lost Game 3, so it was nothing out of the normal for the Pacers. They are undefeated in Games 4 and 5, so maybe look for the same tonight.
Whoa. Okay, I hope so. And the Pacers have this trend of being able to run everybody off the court. They run. The fact that the Knicks were able to get back in the fourth quarter the way they did behind Karl Anthony Towns. Cat goes for 20. He goes absurd. Had some passes that people were talking about on the internet. The way he went about doing his thing was certainly remarkable. 20 points in the fourth quarter for Cat. 20 points in total for the Indiana Pacers in the fourth quarter. Going to have to change that. The fourth quarter is where the Pacers have been able to eat because they wear other teams down. How will the Knicks feel in this Game 4? How will the Knicks have to feel after spending a few days in the beautiful city of Indianapolis, Indiana? And how about some Knicks fans we see out here? They're wearing their orange and blue.
Oh, yeah.
We got a couple Knicks fans that are going to join us on this stage. Obviously, coastal elitists have made their way out here to the United States of America, and they're enjoying some great weather. It is spectacular out here today. Let's go to the toxic table at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Ty, I see you with a Pacers jersey on, pal. Have you fully committed to being a Pacers fan?
Yeah, without a doubt. I don't have an NBA team. Midwest guy, you could go with the Bulls. I love Tyrese Halliburton, other than the fact that, he went to Iowa State, which I can live with that. I can get over that. Pacers also got James Johnson, former stalwart on the 2011 Iowa Energy, one of the best players in that franchise. Yep. G League, hell of a season. But yeah, it just you mentioned it, pace of play, like the way the Pacers play. If you are an NBA fan or just a basketball fan in this area of the country, and you don't really have an allegiance to someone, Pacers are a pretty damn good team to kind of, jump on the boat. Now, granted, people might call me a bandwagon. Okay, yeah, you wait until this team's got their eyes on an NBA championship. I'm fine with that.
So be it.
So be it. Yes, sirs. Go, sirs. I love the Pacers. I'm a Pacer guy for life now, and that's how it should be.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be a Pacers guy for life. We know how that works.
Congratulations.
Yeah, but next 50, 60 years of your life, you're going to be on Pacers. We like that. Let's go to @BostonConnor, a man who lives in downtown Indianapolis, wearing his Boston Celtics jacket, obviously.
Have to.
I don't think you have to. You could have came out here and said, you know what, I'm a citizen. I'm a member of this community. I could have came out and supported the Indiana Pacers, who have been so good to us. The Pacers obviously allow us this court. The Morris Bicentennial Plaza, easy for you all to say. It is a wonderful setup outside of Cambridge. They put a nice skating rink out here. Obviously, there's people that play pickup out here. It's a nice draw. There's concessions out there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Tyrese Halliburton's been incredible for our show. You could have easily picked up the Pacers as your team, especially since you live 2 blocks from here. Instead, you're holding strong with the Celtics. What do you see of this Pacers team that maybe make you think they can do what the Celtics have been able to do in the past, and that's hoist a trophy at the end of the season?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody can do what the Celtics have done, throughout the history of the NBA. But with the Pacers, there's a lot of things they run and gun. It was real cool when they were up 20. Obi Toppin doing the alley-oops, Tyrese stealing the basketball. I mean, personally, if both these teams could lose, it'd be the perfect situation for me, just because then everyone can kind of realize, wow, what the Boston Celtics done was unbelievable. But my biggest thing, especially going into tonight, Timmy Chalamet, he's cool. He ain't no John Halliburton, okay? Papa Halliburton's back, baby. I think that is the biggest storyline tonight. That's a lot of moxie in one building. We'll see. If I'm Rick Brunson, I got my eyes peeled. I'm sitting on the bench, sure, but I don't bring to a team what Papa Halliburton does. So I could see this being a runaway 40, 50, 60-point game for the Pacers tonight.
We would all enjoy that on a work night Tuesday night if this thing was over earlier than expected. Yeah, Papa Halliburton is back. Only allowed to sit in a suite, though. Only allowed to sit in a suite. Not allowed to have his feet on the wood because they don't know if he's going to start dancing again. They don't want him to do that. But it's great that he's back, a chance to experience this type of run, and especially with what his kid has been accomplishing. We'll talk to Shams Charania here in a matter of moments. He'll probably have more on the Papa Halliburton story and a lot of other stories around the NBA. Let's go to 9-year NFL vet, Indianapolis Colt great, ladies and gentlemen, Darius J. Butler. D-Butch, I call this city home. Obviously, you're here like 4 days a week for a large portion of your life. Yep. You have a house here, an apartment here. Yep. You had a lot of great things happen here. The Indiana people deserve this run that the Pacers are having. And with the way the Colts have been,
pretty good, yeah.
I mean, this weekend they were great.
They might be back.
Yeah. Just real quick, Danny Dimes, I heard, was out and about. He was enjoying his Indy 500 Sunday. Don't look now. Daniel Jones might have found his home out here in Indianapolis. But with the Pacers having their run right now, feels great for the city, especially one that we have such close ties to.
It feels great for the city. We know Peyton Manning kind of made this a football city, but this is a basketball state. A state full of Hoosiers. They love their ball, and they're on a hell of a run. Now, South Florida kids, so I grew up a Miami Heat fan, still a Miami Heat fan. So we had a lot of tough battles in the conference finals with the Pacers. I respect the Pacers fan. I respect the Pacers program. Hate the Knicks, though. Hate the Knicks, especially being a Floridian with all these New Yorkers that come down. So just to hear their mouth, I know we lost Game 3, and I'm saying we very loosely because I am here. It will be so sweet for them to win the conference finals in New York. So I can't wait for that to happen. And it starts with a big win tonight.
It certainly does. And, the other series happening in the Western Conference was a little bit of an indicator of what could potentially take place for Game 3. The Minnesota Timberwolves at home smack OKC. They get back. Wait a minute. Does that mean the Knicks are alive? Yes, the Knicks get a big-time win in Game 3 as well. Well, if last night's an indicator of what is about to happen on this particular evening, it looks like the Pacers are going to get back on track. Oklahoma City gets a close, spectacular dub over, this Minnesota Timberwolves team is interesting. They're very fascinating. The way they go about playing, they were able to answer OKC, answer OKC. But in the end, you make your free throws, you do battle. Oklahoma City's up 3-1. Is that an indicator on what happens tonight? I think so. Congrats, Oklahoma City, being what they've been all season, which is some closers, some winners, some absolute dogs. Jalen, unbelievable. Caruso had a couple sick reverse layups down the stretch. Obviously, SGA is going to do his thing. And I believe Oklahoma City feels comfortable in being able to lock this up 3-1, but they were in a dogfight last night, D-Bud.
Yeah, they were in a dogfight. They figured out. You talking about this Timberwolves team being interesting. It's too much up and down, especially from their stars. We know how important the stars are on the biggest stage for like a guy like Julius Randle to have a good game and then to show up and have 5-6 points. And the same thing with Ant. Obviously, they're going to double. They're going to send blitzes at him, but he's got to be more impactful on this game. And I think you got to hold down, obviously, home court. So this is a battle in OKC. You mentioned it. This is who they've been wire to wire. And you got the MVP dropping the 40 ball. Yep. You're going to win those type of games. He shows up. I know it's a lot being said about him being a free throw merchant, being this, being that, but he's
Doris Burke dropping that one in the middle of the game again.
She said it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I've never met Doris. I've watched her do a lot of work. Whenever I do anything, I can't be like checking my Twitter mentions, because normally there's some positive, a lot of, hey, this guy needs to never have a microphone in front of him again. That's the nature of the beast whenever you're in this. I was calling Monday Night Raw last night down in Tampa Bay. Beautiful city, hot as hell. Ooh. I checked my phone, see the trending topics, AMAs was right there at the top, no Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What's that all about?
Good question.
Sierra looked great.
I heard there was a lot of great things. AMA's number 1. Obviously, WWE Raw was number 2. Shout out to Raw. And then number 3 was Doris Burke. And I was like, Doris must have a good call. I clicked on it. Holy shit. There isn't a single positive.
No.
Doris cannot check her ex. Hey, Doris, keep doing your thing, Doris.
Yeah.
Keep doing your thing. And also, if you know Doris, I think we should send her some positive messaging.
Yeah,
I think if you know Doris and have her phone number, which we do not, should text her positive stuff because it gets loud out there for Doris. But yes, the free throw merchant line is one of the ones that kind of sparks the fire. Yep. Also, I think there was a World War II reference out there.
Sure.
But the free throw merchant one's the big conversation that everybody rallies around. And Jamal Crawford came on, and he said, if you were to eliminate free throws, SGA would still be the leading scorer in the NBA. And he wasn't just talking about SGA's free throws. He was talking about the entire league's free throws. If you got rid of all free throws for everybody, SGA would still be the highest scoring player in the NBA. He's such a talent. He's so damn good, which is why I think everybody hates the way it kind of goes about getting his the fouls and the free throws. I think that is part of the problem.
No doubt. I mean, the guy scores 40 points, though. You understand if he's getting, 28 points a game and he has 14 free throws. Yeah. Guy dropped 40. He was unbelievable last night. He almost had a triple-double. The other guy, and by the way, with Doris, T's and P's, but also for everybody watching tonight, TNT game. So, you can put your phones down, swords down. Reggie Miller's going to be in the building. I think a lot of people on the internet are going to be happy about that. I'm not saying I'm one of those, but once again, I think it's a much more enjoyable night. But another guy for OKC, and a lot of people kind of talk about OKC with this caveat of, they have this 7-2 freak no one likes to look at. But Chet Holmgren was fantastic tonight, or last night.
Who says that? Who says he's a 7-2 freak?
A lot of people are saying, hey, Wemby kind of looks cool because he's that tall. Other people are saying, like, hey, Chet Holmgren kind of looks like a freakazoid.
I mean, he's 7'2". He's going to look different, obviously. Exactly. Humans aren't supposed to be that tall, that athletic. Chet's a dog, though. He was like 8 of 9 last night. I forget what it was. Almost a perfect game for Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, he had a massive block down the stretch when they were trading baskets, when Caruso and Jalen Williams had their massive threes to answer, Jaden McDaniels and...
Yeah, we lost you completely.
Okay, I have been static since I sat up here. But Jalen Williams. Yeah, exactly. But Ant had his first 3 later in the game, and then Chet Holmgren had a massive block down the stretch. So if him, Jalen Williams, and SGA are going, we can have fun in a game 4 in Indiana. But there's a Titan staring down the barrel on the other side.
The conference finals have certainly been electrifying. Got a lot of people saying, wow, ESPN's going to be pissed if this is OKC, Indiana.
Certainly.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's true. This Pacers team is must watch.
Battle Tornado Alley?
Must watch. OKC, must watch. It's electrifying through and through. If the Knicks get a big-time win, obviously a lot of people in suits are going to be excited, which we'll talk to a few of them. But it looks like we're staring down a potential OKC-Pacer final, and that's going to be a lot of running, a lot of gunning, a lot of bopping wood, a lot of good defense. That's what basketball is all about. Before we bring up Shams, we've got to hit some other things that happen in the sports world. Alex Palou won the 109th running of the Indy 500. First ever Spaniard to win the Indy 500. Congrats to him. He has won the IndyCar Series multiple times, 3 out of the last 4 years, back-to-back. He's won the entire IndyCar season, had never won the Indy 500. He picks up a massive win on Sunday after a great race.
Great race.
Great race. Got a chance to be there. They're saying, now this is just the people that I've talked to, source, have said 400,000 plus people at that Indy 500. This city is equipped to host that type of thing. This city hosts the largest sporting event on earth every single year. This one was sold out and packed to the gills. 400,000 plus people came to watch these cars go 230 miles plus for 500 miles. A lot of action, The pits were alive and well. Not always good. There were some crashes before the race even started. It was electrifying, and we appreciate the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and we appreciate everybody that went out there. And congrats to Paulo. There was also a lot of drama. So Joseph Newgarden, back-to-back Indy 500 winner, was disqualified from even qualifying for the Indy 500. He was placed 32 or something because they welded the back piece of his car to get a little bit better aerodynamics.
Sure. Yep.
He would have known nothing about it because what they were doing to that particular car would actually break his back.
Oh.
So it's something that he would not be on board with. So Joseph Newgarden had no clue that this was happening. So he gets disqualified to qualify, so they put him at 32. Now, after the race is finished, Ericsson, who ran number 2, and 2 other cars did not pass post-race inspections, so they got sent to the back as well. Penske, who owns IndyCar, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and the Indy 500, a man who's been around racing for his entire adult life, I do believe, loves cars. He has Joseph Newgarden's car. So I think there was a chance that they said, oh, my car is illegal. Let's make sure in this post-race inspections we're doing some looking around. Andretti cars got fined. Other cars got dinged. They're in the middle of a massive transition right now for the Indy 500, and I think everybody's lucky that Paulo won. Because if number 2, Ericsson, wins that, and his car doesn't pass post-race inspections, chaos happens in the IndyCar world. So congrats to Paulo winning clean, and congrats to IndyCar being in the middle of like a transition period right now where I think they're about to lock down and be bigger than ever. Anytime you hold an event where 400,000 plus people come, you're doing something right. Congrats to IndyCar, congrats to the Indy 500, and congrats to Paulo, the first ever Spaniard of Chip Ganassi Racing, winning a 500-mile race.
He took the lead with 14 laps left and then just never looked back. He dominated. Yeah, and if Ericsson would have won, it would have been 2 years in a row where they would have had a little bit of an asterisk on the winner, so that would have been bad. But 400,000 people there. The race was electric. Our guy Connor Daly was making moves up to the front before he had an issue. Joseph Newgarden had an issue in the pits. There was a lot of issue in the pits. A crew member almost lost his leg in the pits. There was a lot going on. Like the early part when it was delayed, and then there was 3 cautions early. It was like, do these
McLaughlin didn't even make it to the race.
They didn't know how to drive, but no.
Stop dicking around.
He heated up.
He's warming up the tires.
I don't care. Stop the Indy 500, man. Lock in. What are we doing dicking around like that?
Well, he's warming up the tires because it was chilly out there, bub.
I mean, I get it. We're having fun, but this is what happens when you have fun. You spin out like a buffoon, and then you're in the middle of the infield holding your head in your hands. Hey, buddy, come on. Some people bet money on this thing. On you, Scotty. You son of a bitch. Thanks a lot for nothing.
You think Scotty's happy about how that went down?
Can't be.
You think Scotty's happy about what happened there, Connor?
I don't know.
You said you lost money. You know how much money Scotty lost?
I don't know. Was he out of there early? Was he eating dinner by the time the race ended? Because he was like, you know what? Shit, maybe I did lose, but it's nice to be in my loafers hanging out.
Nah, Scotty's a racer. He wanted to be there. He's heading to Detroit next week. He gave a statement about next year's Indy 500. He's going to be on it. He's going to be ready, learned a lesson. The rookie who came from F2 was sitting on the pole.
Yep.
We thought there was a chance that Indy 500 was going to swallow him, especially if all the Indy cars got around him. He certainly dropped back into the pack quickly, and then in pit, he almost, that was a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
There was a lot of dangerous situations in the pit. Certainly a much better race than any other race that happened the entire Sunday. F1 started with Monaco in the morning. That was electrifying.
Listen. I'll be honest. So qualifying Saturday, always electric in Monaco.
Sure.
That was single-handedly the worst sporting event I've ever spent an hour and a half actually watching. Amen. It was absolutely terrible. It was everything you guys have said it has been. But that's Monaco, baby. It is a spectacle. It's for the snobs to kind of get up, link up. The race was terrible. The top 4 drivers, they stayed in the top 4 the entire time.
What?
Shout out to Lando. Lando won in Monaco.
Lando, him and Van der Stappen up there battling.
So McLaren still at the top of the leaderboard. He got a win, which is still a huge deal in F1 if you win in Monaco. But the cars are too big. You can't pass. You literally can't pass. So obviously that's racing. I don't know what the hell happened in NASCAR. In the Coca-Cola 600 did.
Kyle crashed.
Yeah,
so he crashed here and there.
Yeah, it's a tough day for Kyle Larson.
Tough day.
You think it's a wrap for the whole?
Yeah.
I think he's done with the double.
Yeah, I don't think Kyle's I don't think Kyle's going to be doing 500 again.
Okay.
Which we will miss him. We appreciate him, Kyle. He's got a lot of racing left. Yeah. Maybe in the future. You didn't get a chance to chat with him because you got sick from that popcorn.
Boy, I forgot about that slight corn allergy.
He was small. He was a small guy. He's a small guy. He's a good racer.
Yeah, a lot of those drivers are small, though.
I don't think his Indy car was fast enough. He knew it.
Going it, yeah.
You can tell if your car's fast. That's like Newgarden was starting at 32. He was the fastest car ever to start at 32. So I see he's making his move through the pack. It was very obvious, like, oh, this guy's car is better than everybody else. Then he has a pit problem. Everything goes to shit. And
that sucked.
Yeah, it does. It's a lot of, you got to get lucky at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Paulo did that. What other news happened around the sports world? Caitlin Clark will be out for at least 2 weeks. She has a quad strain that has been bugging her since training camp. That stinks for the Fever, obviously. That stinks for our city. That also stinks for the WNBA as a whole. Feels like this year a lot more common sense is kind of settling in. Caitlin Clark is the needle mover. The Indiana Fever are the draw. They're going to be without CC for at least a couple weeks as she rests and tries to heal up a quad strain. That sucks for everybody in the WNBA. It definitely sucks for the Fever here, Ty.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, you hate to say it, but, this will be the litmus test for the WNBA. We'll end the conversation once and for all. Like, if the Fever go out and the ratings aren't the same because she's not playing, then it's a pretty clear indication, like you said, she is the needle mover, she is the main draw. You just hope that the Fever can withstand it as well, because 2 weeks, I mean, that's a decent chunk of games in their season, and they've been off to a good start here. You hope they don't
42 games or 44 games, I think.
Yeah, something like that. So I mean, she'll probably miss 8 games, maybe, give or take 6 to 8 games.
It's a lot of games.
And that's if she stays on track with recovery, because we know these soft tissue injuries, the calves, the quads, the hammies, those are kind of touch and go, each individual injury. So you said it's been bothering her since training camp.
That's what they said, that was report.
Been kind of gutting it out. That's tough, especially all the running and change of direction that basketball players do. So hopefully CC gets back there sooner than later. And like you said, the Fever can hold serve, because they put a good roster around Caitlin. So hopefully.
Great roster. Yeah. Great roster. A lot of dogs on that team.
Yeah, and she was the MVP. I don't know if my mic is working.
It is.
It is. Okay, great. And not to mention some of these arenas. The arenas have been moved on away games to the massive stadium. So you wonder if, those screenshots, you talk about the litmus test, the screenshots from those arenas without Caitlin Clark now might be very, very bad. But it is a bummer. She was, going to win the MVP. Still might. That's not out of the question at all. But she was the betting favorite.
I'm going to say this after watching WNBA clips on the internet.
Sure. A lot of them.
A lot of them. A lot of highlights or lowlights getting spruced together.
Yeah.
If Angel Reese gets good around the hoop, problematic. She looks like a varsity player going against JV. She had 5 rebounds in 19 seconds.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
5 rebounds in 19 seconds. I know everybody's saying, you shouldn't be able to do that, you're whatever the case. But imagine if she starts putting those in. I mean, that's going to be, she's potentially getting 40-40.
Mike and drill. Yeah. That's all she needs. Anybody not familiar with the Mike and drill, is you go to the hoop, left hand layup, right hand layup, left hand layup, right hand layup. If I'm her coach, if I'm in her camp, 2 hours of that every day, cardio workout.
I mean, you're talking about maybe most dominant player of all time. Yeah. She's hucking that thing off the backboard, grabbing it. There's nobody else even on the court.
No.
Just 5 rebounds in 19 seconds. That has to be the most in the quickest amount of time in the history of professional basketball. Imagine those start falling. That's a problem.
Yeah, I mean.
I'm as a Fever fan, I'm sitting here. They talk about the Fever-Sky rivalry, and everybody says it's not a rivalry because Sky aren't good and everything like that. It's like, she starts making those.
Oh, yeah. Game changer.
Oh, my God.
It's not an exaggeration. She starts doing the mic and drill, we might be looking at 40-40.
40 points, 40 rebounds every single night.
Yeah.
We need to prepare for that. We got 2 weeks without Caitlin.
Exactly.
We need to get ready for everything about that. All right, let's get some more NBA news, shall we? Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, friend of the program, a man who's incredibly handsome, a man who actually said, I'm going to get out of Minnesota and I'm going to come over here to Indianapolis to celebrate the day with the great people of Indiana. Ladies and gentlemen, Shams Charania.
Yeah.
He said, make more noise.
It's got juice.
You want a little louder, baby, show?
Yeah, baby.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
How about that? A little pop.
Hey, we got to bring the excitement.
A little pop for Shams.
This is a historic show. To me, this is a historic moment. You know, from where this was 6 years ago, you're on site for an NBA playoff game.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Can we on site for an NBA playoff game?
Yeah, that's right.
Big deal, big deal.
That's right. We were talking earlier about how the Pacers threatened to sue me like 8 years ago, so I decided I was never going to talk to them
So
again.
you said that. I thought they were suing you today.
No, they might. I mean, who knows with their style. I think it is a new group of people.
See.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Tyrese Halliburton comes into this city, gets traded, obviously, from Sacramento over here. He takes our city over. I mean, he embodies everything that this city is about. He's kind of a nerd, got a lot of moxie, works his ass off, loves living here. That is a team represented by a guy who loves the city, and the city loves him. So as soon as I got a chance to meet Tyrese, as soon as I got a chance to chat with him, a lot of new people in positions here at the Pacers as well. It has been an honor to be a Pacers fan again. I told you the story about my first couple years in the league here. Whenever the Heatles were taking on the Pacers, I was a pillar at these games. I was at basically every single pay. I was pulling boards. I was making the whole thing happen.
Buying tickets to sell out.
Yeah, I mean, I bought 5,000 tickets one game so we could get a sellout here. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing. Yeah, I thought I was tight with the Pacers. And then they threatened to sue me, and it's
Broke
like,
your heart.
okay, I hate you forever. And I don't. I'm all the way back.
Hell yeah.
And they're a great team to represent this great city. Now, let's talk about it. Game 3, they give up a 20-point lead at home. What are you hearing from the Pacers camp? What are you hearing from the Knicks camp? I feel like the Knicks probably have to feel great about how Game 3 went for the rest of the series. Oh, shut up.
The Pacers haven't won a Game 3 all playoffs. They've won every other game. So to me, it's the attention to detail, the discipline. Clearly, when you go up 20 points, they let go of the gas a little bit. But you have to give the Knicks a lot of credit. They went into that fourth quarter. They were down. And you saw what Karl Anthony Towns did. He played like a flat-out superstar in that game. And that, to me, is a positive sign, right? Because in a lot of ways, there's that question, right? Can Jalen Brunson be the best player on your team to win a championship? But that's why you bring in a guy like Karl Anthony Towns in. He's supposed to be that guy, and he played like that guy. So if they get that superstar effort from him again, I think this Knicks team should feel really good about themselves.
Yeah, what happened? There's a lot of stuff coming out about Jalen Brunson and Cat not being on the court at the same time. Not good for the Knicks or something like that?
There was foul trouble. Jalen Brunson was in foul trouble, so I'm not going to buy into that.
I would like to say, as somebody that has not done the research or the stats,
Sure.
Yeah, keep Jalen Brunson on the bench. I think that's a good play.
They're not sitting Jalen Brunson unless he's in foul trouble or if he gets hurt. Those are the only ways he doesn't play 40
No, I thought
minutes.
stats were saying that he needs to not be on
When
the
they're
court.
on the court together, yeah.
Keep him on the bench. Whatever stats are saying that, they need to be louder. And they
I
need
will
to be
say
spotlighted.
this. Tom Thibodeau went 9 players deep in his rotation. What's the knock on Tom Thibodeau, right? He only goes 7 deep or 8 deep in a playoff game. Doesn't really trust his bench. Well, he trusted his bench. He didn't play campaign.
Had to.
You
Yeah,
go
he
with
did have
Dahn,
to.
right? Played a lot in Game 3, so you're going with a more defensive-minded player at that position. You move Mitchell Robinson into the starting lineup, so you give Karl Anthony Towns some defensive support, but then you have Josh Hart coming off the bench. I think that gives you another look as well, another shot creator coming off that bench. But at the end of the day, this is going to come down to this. Can Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson play like superstars? If they can, this Knicks team can make it to the finals. If not, the Pacers are too good. The Pacers are too good and they're too deep, and the way Pascal Siakam is playing right now, he's playing like a superstar.
Yeah, Siakam, obviously the only all-star for the Indiana Pacers. We're lucky to get him in a trade from Toronto. Love everything he's about. Just loves ball. Just loves ball. That's what this Indiana Pacers team is. They just love ball, and I think that's why the city loves them so much, because they're maximum effort. Now, let's talk about a guy that I love. I assume most of the city loves. He's back in the building tonight. The aura of Papa Halliburton is back. Okay.
Free pops.
Yeah. So who had to make this decision? Was it the NBA? Was it the Pacers? And what are the stipulations? I know he's not allowed to touch the wood.
Yeah, he's not going to be sitting courtside. He's going to be sitting up in the suite.
He is barred from courtside.
He's not going to be sitting on the court. I think, you know, for any games moving forward, home games, definitely he's going to be in a suite. I do think the conversation is going to continue. If this Pacers team makes it to the finals, I think you're going to have conversations. What does that look like? Do you bring him on the road and let him sit in a suite on the road? That's probably where he might
Let's take this guy on the road.
Yeah.
So,
playing, maybe.
But he will be in the building tonight. And listen, this is a decision the Pacers front office made. And think about it. Tyrese Halliburton's a guy you want to spend their entire career. They not only want Tyrese Halliburton, they want John Halliburton committed to the city, committed to this franchise for the next how many ever years Tyrese Halliburton plays, 10 years. So when they made the decision to essentially ban him from home and road games moving forward, he's missed 8 games in a row. I will say this, that's not an easy decision to make, but it is a decision, something had to happen. Because anytime a fan, if it's a normal fan and they step out on the court, Pat, that's a year ban at least. But this is a father and a son relationship. This is a father of a star player on this team. So I think the NBA allowed the Pacers to really handle it in the best way. And I think all these sides are communicating, and they feel this is the best route. 8 games. He's back in the house tonight. He is going to be there tonight.
Have a Pops.
Oh, yeah.
Have a seat, Pops. Pop's having a good time watching those games.
I mean, was that a bar in Indy? Is that where he was?
It looked like it.
I believe so.
I think he bought it.
Yeah, it might have been Halliburton's bar.
Yeah.
Call it John's right down the street.
I thought maybe he'd show up in New York and do that. That would have been a sight.
Nah, we don't need. Hey, we need to keep John safe and sound.
Yeah.
You saw what happened to the New York firefighter.
I forgot about that.
They kept throwing trash at him, Sean. Is
Yeah,
that what
you want John Halliburton getting thrown in a dumpster?
Yes, sir.
That's your part of your problem. You become a coastal elitist.
They got to have security around him. Send him to a bar in New York. Make him turn up.
John's not going to do security.
You don't need security.
I don't know what you have a misread on Pops here.
Yeah.
He's not walking around security. But you talk about a regular fan getting on the court. There's a reason John was just let on the court. Because everybody here knows
he's Tyrese Halliburton's dad, and he's John Halliburton. He's a great personality. He's been to all these games. He's a very, very
committed father. Very, very committed father to Tyrese Halliburton.
I think Miles Turner, when Miles Turner did his media yesterday, he was just like, they asked him about it, about essentially the ban being lifted, and he didn't even respond to that. He just said, I love a father and son relationship. I love the fact that a father can go see his son play as he's trying to make it to the NBA Finals and win the conference. So I think that's what this is about. The Pacers are moving on. Tyrese Halliburton's moving on. I know about that.
Yeah, John ain't gonna forget though.
Never.
Yeah, let's make sure. Let's make sure that is done. We can't wait to see him back in the building in a suite tonight. All right, let's talk about some other stuff around the NBA. We were chit-chatting with you earlier, and I don't want to out what you said privately, publicly, but you said, hey, this might be a pretty active summer here for the NBA. Let's start with some of the big names. Giannis, obviously the big name that everybody thinks is going to be on the move. What do you think about him? What do you think the expectation is? And am I accurate in saying this is going to be an active summer for the NBA?
Pat, this is the most, I think, anticipation team executives have had over an offseason. I think this is going to be the craziest offseason of I don't want to say all time. We just came off a trade deadline. We just came off a trade deadline. I think it was the craziest of all time. I think this offseason might be the most craziest ever because I think there's so many.
Most craziest ever.
That's crazy.
MCE. Most craziest ever, dude.
Most craziest ever. Probably grammar police is like it's craziest ever.
No, you got your point across. It's the most craziest ever.
Because I think what you have right now is you have the parity in the league.
Sucks.
It's so thin right now. Like as far as the thin line of what you can win a championship or you might be falling into the lottery. And I think the ability to go out there and improve your team and get there to championship level, I think that's on the minds of everyone around the league. So how can you elevate your team? And now you have players like a Giannis Antetokounmpo. I reported a few weeks ago, he is open-minded. He is right now in the process of figuring out, is my home, I guess forever home, going to be in Milwaukee, or is it time to go pursue a championship somewhere else? I'm told that process is ongoing. There still has not yet been a big moment of truth meeting, I'm told, between the Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo. That will happen at some point in the offseason. But the Bucks are operating as if, listen, loyalty's going to win out. We're going to have Giannis there. He's been there for 12 years. You know, a player like that, loyalty means a lot. Equity means a lot. And so the Bucks are banking on that. They're banking on a gap year, essentially, where they're going to be able to retool around Giannis.
Oh, they're going to guilt trip him. Love that.
Sounds like it.
It's going to be something of a gap year because they only have one first-round pick they can trade. They lack the high-level tradable contract. So if you want to go make your team better, John Horst, their general manager, what he's done, he's gone out and gotten Drew Holiday in 2020 when Giannis' future was up in the air. He went out and got Damian Lillard in 2023 when Giannis' future was in the air. This year, he doesn't really have that same bandwidth to go make moves. And so it's going to come down to loyalty. Will Giannis look at this team and say, we got Brook Lopez back, we got Bobby Portis back, I'm going to run it back with these guys? Or is he going to look elsewhere? And if he looks elsewhere, Pat,
his brother,
that will be a big market that we're going to see for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Giannis come to Indiana or no?
I mean, I do think the Pacers are becoming a team where they've got the, I think, 8th or 9th lowest payroll, but eventually here they're turning into a destination.
Yeah, you're damn right they are.
Tyrese Halliburton.
What do you mean they're turning into a? Shut up, Shams. We're already
Back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals.
Look at the
They're
city.
turning into
Yes,
a
sir.
Look at these people. Look at the mural.
That's a big statement. They're turning into a destination, like a real destination. I think players look at Tyrese Halliburton, look at Pascal Siakam, and what this front office has done such a good job of. I said it a few weeks ago. They've done so great at identifying dogs. They've done everything they can
Dogs
to
only,
scout
brother.
players that they know want to win and want to compete, and that's becoming a big trend line in the NBA. But Giannis Antetokounmpo is still in the process of figuring out what his future looks like. I think between now and the start of free agency, we're going to get some more answers.
D-Bud has a question for you, Sean.
Yeah, real quick before I get my question, how does he feel about Doc Rivers being the head coach and still being there? Is that how much is that playing? According to what you know, how much is that playing to his decision to stay or leave?
I don't expect that to play a big decision into Giannis Antetokounmpo's mindset. It's going to come down to what gives me the best opportunity to win a championship. So he's going to look at the roster. He's going to look at what moves they can make, what moves they can't make. And listen, Giannis Antetokounmpo, a player like that, is always going to have respect for the coach. And Doc Rivers has been there the last year and a half, but I don't think he's making that decision just solely off of that.
Okay, got it. And for going into next year, we had some major injuries in the NBA this year. Obviously, Kyrie Irving, after that trade, he tore his knee up. And then Wemby, he had the blood clot situations. Obviously, Tatum in the playoffs. What are the outlooks for those big-time players going into next year as far as what you know right now?
So Tatum as well, Achilles tear. He's expected to miss most of next season, if not the entire next season. I think that's what Boston is prepared for. And the surgery that he got, Dr. O'Malley at HSS in New York City, same doctor that did Kevin Durant.
Gotcha.
And Kevin Durant did his surgery about 36 hours post Achilles tear. Jason Tatum did it in like just over 12 hours after the Achilles tear. So that time difference, I think the doctor there believes that the time helps and will allow him to heal better. But Kevin Durant also got 18 months off before he came back. So you're going to have to be very cautious with Jason Tatum and when he gets back. And what you're going to see from the Celtics as well is they're going to start to reshift their team. So I think they're going to be patient with him. Kyrie Irving, there's optimism around him and around the Mavericks. He could be back at some point in January or February, but again, it's an ACL tear. He suffered in March. We'll see exactly when he'll be able to be back.
Wemby.
And Wemby, he's been doing some on-court stuff. We've been seeing it on social media, so that should be a positive sign. And the Spurs, everything I hear, they fully expect him to be ready to go for the start of next season, for the start of training camp. That is amazing news for the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah,
and the NBA.
Yeah, we're pumped about that.
For Wemby to be ready.
Back-to-back rookies of the year.
Wemby doesn't want anything to do with the Pacers, but I understand what you're talking about. It's good for the NBA.
They also have a ton of assets. They have tradable contracts. They have the number 2 pick. They have the number 14 pick in this year's draft. They have a bunch of tradable picks as well moving forward. They have all their picks. So
El Jefe.
Whether there's a player like a Giannis Antetokounmpo, I think a Kevin Durant's another guy that the Spurs, there was mutual interest in at the deadline. I think they're going to be looking very actively to see, is there a wing player we can bring in that could take us over the top?
Spurs have the number 2 overall pick. Mavericks have the number 1 overall pick. Last time we talked to you,
they're picking Cooper Flag.
Yeah, they don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah,
And,
no, they can't.
What was that?
You don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth.
What the hell does that mean?
That means you've been handed something. Don't disrespect
There
it.
might be a real riot in Dallas if they move the number 1 pick, right?
Yeah, but what if they trade with Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, exactly. You just mentioned they're looking for a real wing player. And, I mean, weeks ago, you reported about the Celtics, this kind of being the last run of this iteration.
Yeah, thank you for that. On this particular program.
Where did that happen?
Journalism, we did something.
Was that here?
Right, not here, but in the city.
On PMS. All right, got it.
And then there's another thing, I believe, with Halliburton that was on this program.
Yeah. He said free pops till it's backwards on PMS.
Thank you.
I think weeks ago.
Yes, we do.
We break news.
We're ahead of time. Yes,
which is weird. Most people only see that on from TNT. But when you're thinking of the Celtics, you mentioned Drew Holiday, Porzingis, Horford, Brown. Like a lot of these guys, they cost a lot of money. Who knows where they're going to be? What do you see with them? And then do you see those players for the Celtics being moved for players? Do you see them being moved for picks? What's kind of the situation in Boston now? Is anybody untouchable? And are those top 3 picks, I guess I'll say 2 of the 3, the number 2 pick and number 3 pick, are those on the table for those teams to trade with the Celtics? What are we looking at here for Boston?
So let's go for the Celtics. They're going to make trades. The Boston Celtics will have a much different roster next season potentially. They'll definitely have a different roster. The question is just how severe as far as the movement is going to be for them. I think Jason Tatum, you have to. What's going on here? We're talking football.
Don't worry about it.
Just keep going,
Sean.
There was a terrible Sharpie throw over there.
You look at Jason Tatum. Of course, he's injured. Can't really trade him. That's really the face of your franchise. I think after that, it's really going to depend on what value can you get. I think teams are going to express a lot of interest in Jrue Holiday. Teams are going to inquire about Kristaps Porzingis. Teams are going to inquire about Jaylen Brown. And I think the Celtics are going to have to identify what value can we get for each of these players. Which player does it make sense to trade? Is there anywhere where we can get some players back that can help right now, potentially help us moving forward? We can get some assets for. This team probably isn't going to be in the same place as far as contention.
Yeah.
But listen, you have Joe Mazzulla as your coach. You still have a chance potentially to get Jason Tatum back at the end of the season. If you keep Jaylen Brown, he's a guy that you have a lot of faith in to lead this team.
$300 million.
So I think they're going to do a lot of things to retool this roster.
Sure.
But again, there's a lot of question marks around Al Horford's future. Jrue Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis. We said it on this show. The Celtics will explore trades. They're going to make moves this summer.
Send them all down to the Mavs, get the number 1 overall pick.
Bingo.
All of a sudden, you got the main event, Cooper Flag with the Boston Celtics, waiting for Jason Tatum for a year. All of a sudden, now the New England area is alive.
I'm going to be a professional again. And I remember you said the picks 2 and 3. I think pick 2, the plan is to pick at number 2. But I think, listen, if you have a chance to get Giannis Antetokounmpo, you have to look at something like that. Pick number 3 is Philadelphia. I think their goal is to draft at that pick. I think there's about 3 players they like at number 3, but they're going to get a ton of calls on number 3. That's a team with Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Paul George. They're trying
and
to win
they
the
suck, right?
as well.
I don't know enough about the NBA. The Sixers are terrible. Not supposed to be.
They need Joel Embiid to be healthy on the floor.
American gold medalist Joel Embiid. People forget.
Yeah.
They need gold medalists. Former
Captain
league
America.
MVP.
Shouldn't have been there.
What are you talking about? He shouldn't have been there.
Shouldn't have been there.
It's Joe Embiid, baby. You better watch your mouth when it comes to
Great player.
He wanted to win gold, though. He wanted to win gold.
MVP, I understand
He was
all
did it
that.
for our
He was
country.
born and raised in Omaha.
Yeah, he did for our country.
No, I'm not saying
He picked our country.
He's qualified to be on the team, but we're talking about trusting the process. How many years and how many times have he been healthy in the second or in the finals for
He's
his
tall.
own team?
Well,
he's getting paid max money for the team.
He has never
MVP.
He has
Hell
never
no.
had a fully healthy playoff run. And just think about that. To me, it's like he's so great when he's healthy, and that's what, if you're the Sixers, if you can get Joel Embiid to be fully healthy, you have a chance to compete for a championship. That's really all your season rides on. And so we'll know. We'll know very soon, how does his offseason go? Does he have any setbacks? And if he doesn't, how does he look going into the season?
Let's talk about another Olympic gold medalist multiple time. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Shams, what's the latest update on LeBron? I mean, obviously we know this guy, he could play for 10, 15 more years if he wanted to. What are the Lakers going to do specifically with him? We know all year they needed a center. Maybe look at a guy like Luka Garza, see if they can bring him in, see what
the real Luka.
Yes.
A lot of people are saying that. I'm not going to say it, but a lot of people are saying that.
Highest points per minute in the history of the NBA playoffs.
He's also the first one off the bench clapping every single game.
He can play. He can play.
Yeah, I know. Luka Garza.
We know.
We broke that news, too.
Can.
Sky's blue, Shams.
But what is kind of the latest update on LeBron, and what are the Lakers going to do this offseason?
I'm told he's likely to opt in. He's got a player option about $54 million, $57 million.
Right?
He's got a massive player option.
For Garza?
That's likely. That's the plan. But again, his option date, Pat, is June 29th. So he still has about a month to figure out. There's going to be some hard conversations that are going to happen between him, the Lakers, seeing what this team looks like. Because listen, LeBron James, whether he plays one more season or a few more seasons, he wants to be in a competitive environment. And I said it on our when I came on when their season ended. He's probably going to opt in because the option is so big, and then that gives you flexibility to figure out, do you extend off that number, or if this is the final year, if this is the last hurrah, essentially, year 23 for number 23. They have All-Star Weekend in Los Angeles, so to me, it's very storybook if that's the way it goes. Yeah. But that's a decision that he's got to make. The big question for the Lakers, though, are they going to find a center, a true center? And I think Rob Pelinka, the president general manager, that's his biggest focus of the offseason. They didn't go and get the Mark Williams trade. There was obviously a lot of controversy about that. This summer, their number one objective is going and getting a center, replenishing their depth on the wings, and then seeing how does LeBron James, how do Luka Doncic feel about that roster moving forward.
Okay, let's stick with the Lakers. And obviously, whatever LeBron does, we'll be pumped about. He blessed us with the LeBron conversation.
Certainly.
And we'll we'll always back him. You know, 23 years good, 26 years better, whatever the hell he wants to do. Good luck over there in L.A. If he wants to come to Indiana, he said Tyrese Halliburton's a guy he'd love to play with. I saw it.
I will say this: the Lakers, there's a decision, not a decision, but they've got some conversations internally because LeBron James has been there since 2019, 2020.
Oh, don't get it wrong,
He's been there for 6-7 seasons. So, and he's won a championship there. He's been in the Western Conference Finals another time there. He's brought you some success there at a point where they were really at their lowest when they got him. They weren't really competing for championships, but you have him. Do you do right and try to restructure the team, try to involve him in your decision making, but then you also have this player, Luka Doncic.
On that note, Tone has a question for you.
That's going to be the face of your franchise. How do you handle? That's going to be a big challenge for them.
Yeah, everybody's talking about on the court, but off the court too. Massive conversation.
I don't know if you saw Luka this weekend. He was looking fit AF. Yeah, and I'm not saying he doesn't normally, but your Wegovy's, your Manjaros, your Ozempic, your semaglutides, is that on the NBA banned substance list, or is this just hard work from Luka? And why is it just talked about so much?
You know what? I actually looked into the Ozempic thing about a couple of years ago. I was told I don't think it is. So if that's wrong, I'm gonna have to go back and look this up. But it wasn't then. You know, Zion looks in amazing shape.
Yeah,
we see Luka Doncic, but you know this is off season, right? So like these guys clearly they're putting the work in. I saw the pictures of Luka Doncic. I have not seen him, so I can't.
You're thinking it was angles?
I did see Zion Williamson.
The fact he's wearing a white T-shirt in public would tell me he doesn't think he has a gut.
I did see Zion Williamson at the draft lottery, and he looks slender. He looks amazing as well.
Zion?
Whatever.
Maybe he should come to Indiana.
Whatever they're doing in abroad in Slovenia, wherever Luka Doncic is right now, clearly he's putting in the work. But I think that was part of the big conversation with J.J. Redick, and you have Luka Doncic, their relationship. J.J. Redick's the type of coach that can tell Luka Doncic, like, listen, we need you to be in the best possible shape.
Not to be fat.
We need everyone on this roster to be in the best possible shape. J.J. Redick said after the season, we were not the best conditioned we could be. Now, whether that's something toward Luka, whether that's something toward 4 or 5 other players on the team, but clearly it was something he wanted to get across. I'm sure he's gotten that across.
Well, Nico said, me and nutritionist said this guy's never going to learn. So it'd be nice if Luka came back absolutely ripped and jacked.
A guy like Luka Doncic, 5 All-NBA teams every single year, All-Star every single year. He's one of the best players in the world. You don't get to that stage without putting in a ton of work. You don't get to that stage without working on your body. You don't get to that stage besides all that. I will say, like Zion Williamson, when there's those calf injuries, anything lower body, it does impact how you condition. So hopefully Luka Doncic, the big thing for him is staying healthy on the floor.
Yeah, good luck, Luka. We're pulling for you, Luka.
Food is healthier over there, too.
Yeah, because they don't have all the dyes and stuff.
Yeah, they're not trying to kill them.
Every once in a while, a video will pop up on my algo, and I'll say, what have I been eating? That's like whenever you learn about a company that you use through another company's commercial.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're not like insert name of other banks and do all this stuff to you. We don't do that. I'm like, is my bank doing that? I need to have a conversation. That's kind of what happens here in this situation.
Yeah, without doubt. Not to mention all the artificial sweeteners we got over here. You know, they're not dealing with that over there. They're just smoking cigarettes from the time they're.
Yeah, you're smoking hookah straight up.
Exactly.
Which helps.
Exactly.
No filters.
Yeah, and I love that. Good for them. And Luka's earned the right to enjoy his life. Yeah. And if he feels like he's in the best shape he could possibly be, good for him. We're here in Indianapolis, Indiana for Game 4 tonight of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Hell yeah.
This is a really cool part of town. Come on. We're kind of nestled downtown here. Oh, yeah. People fill in the steps. We got people up here. We got a beautiful mural. It's gorgeous. I've never really hung out here, to be clear. No. Never really seen this area. Whenever they offered this space up for the show, I said, I don't know what you're talking about. Then they sent photos. Look at the arch here. I don't know. That's art of some sort.
Oh, yeah.
That's some sort
bigger
of
than
art.
the St. Louis.
How long's that been here?
I think it's just been a couple years, bro.
Gateway to the West,
They made this whole entire thing 2 summers ago, I think.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's
Indiana's
wonderful.
a soft place in my heart. This is where I first started covering games. Here in Milwaukee, the Bulls, I was not able to cover games with the Bulls. I was a college kid, high school kid. They didn't want to credential me. Fine people here. They didn't sue me. They gave me credentials. Milwaukee gave me credentials. So I'm very fortunate to you always need that opportunity to get through the door.
Yeah, we love having you here in Indianapolis. How do you think tonight goes?
I
Make
think,
a pick.
Yeah.
Make a pick, Shams.
I think whoever wins this game wins the series.
That's not a pick.
That's the pick.
Coward. That's what they said. They said you're a coward. This guy just got off work. He's got his shit kickers on. This guy came all the way down here to listen to you talk.
You gave him that bullshit.
The Pacers have not lost a game outside of game 3s, so they are in good pole position tonight going into this game.
Oh, Indy 500 reference. Wow.
Pole position.
All right, we appreciate you. We'll talk to you in the next hour or two. You hang out for a bit?
I'm here.
Ladies and gentlemen, senior NBA insider for ESPN, friend of the program. We remember when he was just young lads starting out.
I was in the spaceship.
Still is. Ladies and gentlemen, Shams Charania. Thank you. I'll see you next hour.
Hell yeah.
Shams literally got on a plane and left Milwaukee to do this with us.
The best.
So cool.
Yeah.
He saw it on the internet. All right, Shams. Shams asking for an applause.
He's a showman of the people.
He's a showman. Gets it.
Shams, let's not be asking for applauses, okay? That's not a part of the Shams brand. The boys here and ladies here love you, though. How could you not love Shams? He's always maintained being the same person, which is what we appreciate. He works his ass off, which is what I appreciate. And now he's at ESPN. He gets more, hopefully, tips and insights than he's ever had, and he's the future of covering it. And, yeah, he saw my tweet go out about us being here, and he's like, yo, PM, which nobody else in the history of my life calls me.
Nope. There's one. There's one that I can think of. You got a lot of nicknames sometimes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Swagoo calls me Kafee.
Yeah, Kafee. PM, Jay Will.
Yeah, shout out Jay Will.
Jay, okay, PM.
P-Mac.
A lot of PMACs throughout my life. Not a lot of PMs.
No, Kafee's the GOAT.
That's the GOAT.
I've never heard that before either. I think that is
Creative.
incredibly creative there by Swagoo, who Emmy Award winner. Congrats to him. But he said, hey, PM, you doing a show at a Pacer game? I have to be there, right? And I'm like, if you come, for sure. And he flew in, got here. We appreciate the hell out of Shams. Thank you, Shams.
Thank you, Shams.
Speaking of flying in, being a part of the show, we didn't want to be a completely biased operation here. We understand we're on ESPN, so we needed the other side to be represented. What's the other side? Oh, the coastal elitists. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who is certainly that, but somehow maintains a personality and a humility that makes us all fall in love with him. Massive New York Knicks fan, ladies and gentlemen. Peter Schrager.
Hell yeah,
Shrags, brother.
Good heat.
Notice how we're not throwing trash bags at you, Shrags. I don't know if you saw that in the past. Shrags, they're coming to get your ass out of here. I don't know if his mic is on, but we do know that we try to make you feel at home with sirens and such as if it was New York City. Thank you for coming out here. What are your thoughts on the city, Shrags?
I love Indianapolis. I've got a long history with Indianapolis. The Combine is one of my favorite weeks.
Okay.
This week, though, New York City's taking over. I see you, Knicks fans!
Yes, Shrags, yes.
I mean, Pat, you guys are up 2-0.
Okay.
You're up 20 points, and we got our best players with 5 fouls, and you let us back in the building.
All right, Shrags. You, much like most of the Knicks fans, some people here in Indianapolis might have fallen asleep during that Pacers game.
Sure.
Some
Long
people,
day.
long day, that Indy 500.
Racing and pacing, baby.
Trying to do both. Trying to knock them both out. You know, some people, even at the arena, there were some people maybe snoozing because the 20-point game is a blowout. Some people maybe didn't make it to the arena, had tickets and fell asleep, didn't make it to the arena. So they woke up, you know, with maybe 130 text messages from a lot of people from New York. And boy, at the beginning of those text messages from all of you, Michael Cole sent one that said, I'm on to football season. Sorry to the kids that are here. There's a 2-year-old Rocco earmuffs. Fuck basketball is what a lot of New York fans were saying, okay, at the beginning of that game. Then you guys come back. Everybody had the same reaction at the end. Holy hell, we're back in this thing. And now all of a sudden there's a thought that Game 4 is maybe like the most important game that has happened for New York in a long time. You all understand you lose this one, it's probably over. But if you steal another one and it goes 2-2, hold the door. That is literally how all Knicks fans feel, right?
100%.
Look at the Knicks fans clapping here. They got coastal elitists.
Wow. I would say, I mean, I texted you in the second quarter after the Obi top and dunk. And we used to have Obi on the Knicks. We love him, a good player. He has to dunk. I texted you, quite a hole we've dug ourselves here.
Yes,
That
certainly.
was the text. And then about 2 hours later, I'm like, let's go. I'll see you on Tuesday. Let's go.
That is right.
The truth of the matter is this, though. You let the door open. It was done. It was done. And for Knicks fans of this generation, I didn't grow up with Walt Clyde Frazier. I didn't grow up with Willis Reed or Bernard King. It was always the Pacers. and it was John Starks headbutting Reggie Miller. It was Reggie Miller doing the choke sign. It was Reggie killing us in big spots on Mother's Day. So for it to be the Pacers and the Knicks.
Yeah, it was great moments.
For it to be the Pacers and the Knicks, this is how it should be. And the fact that we were on the ropes, the fact that we were done, and the fact that it's Delon Wright and Landry Shamet and Deuce McBride finding guys off the bench who have not done much all playoff series, they find a way to use it. Rick Carlisle has Carlisle.
Don't matter. Some respect.
Tim Carey
has run circles around Tibbs the first 2 games and a half, and then all of a sudden in the second half, it was like Tibbs was like, wait, we got the bench. We can use the bench, and there's life. And I got to tell you, as much as I love Indianapolis, I flew in, I've been around, I went to the coffee shop this morning. There's a little bit of nervous energy.
Oh, shut up.
No.
A little bit.
There's a 2-year-old named Rocco here smiling ear to ear, knows what the Pacers are about to do tonight. But you're right. It is a huge Game 4. I mean, we all know that, especially because the way 1-2 go, we kind of steal one, obviously. Not kind of. Definitely steal one. And especially with Jim Irsay guiding that thing down with Tyrese. We thought it was over. Choke sign. Here we go. That goes to overtime. We're supposed to lose that game, especially with the choke sign happening. Instead, we win it. Okay. Game 2, dominate. We win again. It's like we've got out of New York with 2. Should not be like that. So for us to give up Game 3, I think it's become the calling card of this Pacers team almost for this particular series. But Game 4, Shregs, you know why there's no nerves around this city? Rick Carlisle, you just called him? He chewed out the boys. The boys have had a rough 2 days from Rick Carlisle. He's not their friend. He's not a friend of the boys on the team. No.
Coach.
He is a coach. Yep. And I'm excited to see what happens tonight. Jalen Brunson, with the stats that I've seen, you guys should have on the bench for most of the game. That's better for you, is what I've been told. So we need to do that. And we're thankful you're here. To all the Knicks fans, thank you for coming out for our city. Use some of that Coastal Elitist money at our restaurants.
Yeah.
Okay, we'd appreciate it. Make sure you tip the servers.
Yeah.
Okay, tip the scumbags.
I mean, and also, like, you know, I saw the guy in the full racing costume courtside. It was cool.
Not a costume.
He had a helmet.
That was Joseph Newgarden.
Yeah, it's a uniform.
Wore the whole thing. For my man Timothy Chalamet, on a Memorial Day weekend, to not be in the Hamptons, to not be in Montecito, to fly in to Indianapolis to support his team, that is what a Knicks fan is all about.
Yeah, he's the new Spike Lee, right?
He's the real deal.
He's the new face of Knicks fans.
New face of Knicks fans. He is there. He is present. And I would imagine that is what we all look at and say, okay, he didn't give up on us. The Knicks didn't give up on us. You got to understand, Knicks fans, we haven't seen an NBA Finals since. Look at that kid.
That's a bowling guy, right?
That looks like P. Weber. P. Weber.
Yeah.
Chrome hearts and Oakley sunglasses. That's the look. White boy summer. That's the look right there.
Could be.
MGK dropped a banger.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Chet's also praying for all of us.
Well, MGK, you don't need to be worried about the people that are saying negative things.
Song of the summer.
And he was doing cliche dance moves because the song's called Cliche.
People don't get it.
I didn't like that he responded because now people are responding to his response.
Yeah.
MGK, you just keep doing your little dancing, bub. Just keep doing your thing right to the top.
Hair looks sweet.
Chalamet's a dog.
Pretty cool. That
He knows college ball.
I loved him when he was on with you guys.
His appearance on College Game Day was huge for all of us. Whenever the story is told, the eyes that were watching that particular College Game Day that maybe don't watch each and every week might offer up opportunities for other people to do other things for the rest of their lives. But the way he knew the game, the way he knew the show, the way he treated people, he's good. He's the right one, I think, to be the next superstar. And the fact that he is the Knicks face at this point almost, it's great to have him in the city. I assume he's coming tonight, right? Or what if he doesn't come tonight? Oh, no.
Team down.
Oh, no. Chalamet can't handle Indiana. He won one time. Too much heat. Stay out of the kitchen. You think that's what's happening?
I think he's going to be there, I would imagine. Look.
I assume he would be, too. Great to have you here, Tim. Good luck on all your stuff.
Did he go to the race, too? Was he racing and pacing?
I think a lot of people were saying they were trying. I saw a lot of Knicks fans at the race, actually, saying they were going to go, and I was like, good luck if you can survive. I think he probably just snuck by the Pacers.
Sure.
Yeah, easily sent out Gaib. He doesn't have time for that. Yeah.
All right, we're back with the next hour. Schrager will join us. We'll have Hans here. Remember the firefighter that got bullied by the New York Knicks fans? He will be joining us, and plenty more conversations. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We'll see you on the other side.
All roads leading to Eugene, and I can't help but say, hey, 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 hey. You make me wanna jump, put my hands up and hit my heels up and all again now. A little bit something now, 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 a little bit louder 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 now, a little bit louder. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great day in Oregon. You know, we go to Cannon. Always. We are. Thank you. I love this. Let me go ahead and cock that thing. Boo ball. Boo ball. Hell yeah, Roughnecks. We got engineers, we got doctors, we got economists. We got real tests that have real implications happening. And all of these sons of bitches said, give me college game day. Instead of studying, I had some questions about coming out here to Berkeley, but after experiencing it, it is very evident that this is one of the best cities in this here United States of America. USA, 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 USA. And this represents everything that is great with this country, with our sport. It doesn't matter which way you view the world. It doesn't matter which part of the country you're from. College football runs through our soul. And that is what a celebration today is all about. I am thankful to be here amongst these nerds and future geniuses and future people.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. You pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice to change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Indianapolis, Indiana. We're on the Morris Bicentennial Plaza outside of Gamebridge. Game 4 tonight. Hour 2 of this program begins right about now. Pacers are happening tonight against the New York Knicks. We've had an incredible opportunity to get a chance to chit-chat with the people that have gathered here in this Bicentennial Plaza. The city is alive. The city is excited because the Indiana Pacers are for real. They lost Game 3 to the New York Knicks after having a 20-point lead, a 13-point lead, a 16-point lead, a 20-point lead, and then inevitably they end up losing and giving it away at home. And tonight the Pacers are going to put on a show. If you are going to watch, what you're going to see is a passionate crowd, a passionate state, and a team that's trying to get their back against the New York Knicks, led by Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. Jalen Brunson, obviously an absolute beast. He's Mr. Clutch for good reason. What he does at the end of games is insane. But Karl Anthony Towns had his New York Knicks moment, seemingly, in Game 3, where he took over in the fourth quarter. 20 points alone he had. The entire Indiana Pacers, 20 points as well. Cat took the game over in the fourth. They have a massive comeback. And now everybody from that big damn city, every coastal elitist who wears blue and orange, thinks to themselves that the Knicks are back in this thing. The Knicks weren't supposed to beat the Celtics. Now, the Knicks were supposed to get swept by the Pacers. And after a win in Game 3, they got the entire city alive. Joining us live here at Bicentennial Plaza is a man who's an Emmy Award-winning television host, an NFL insider, NFL pundit, and now an ESPN man. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Schrager's here. Schrags isn't the only... Yeah, there a couple more coastal elitists arrived here during the break. We had a very New York-looking guy screaming over to me. He goes, "Come on, one time, Pat. Next thing 6, you say, for the brand, for the brand, for the brand." Never need the Pacers to win for the brand.
Hell yeah.
Good for the program, for the Pacers to do and play the way they are playing, and we've been enjoying all of it. We're lucky to be here. Shout out to the Pacers allowing us to do this outside of Gamebridge today. 9-year NFL vet, a man who calls Indianapolis home, Darius J. Butler.
Yes, sir.
The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. I see the dog shirt underneath that Boston Celtics jacket. Is that because the Pacers are a bunch of absolute dogs?
Yeah, most of them. Definitely TJ McConnell on there.
Shout out.
More so, you're talking about get-back games. I think, the people of Indianapolis in particular need to kind of step up because it was embarrassing. Game three was embarrassing. I think anybody who was in there can agree. I think everybody knows race day, racing and pacing, sure, and the Indy 500's awesome, and everybody kind of blew their load at the race. And then they showed up. They showed up at the game.
500-mile load.
Exactly, and you got to understand that's going to be a big load. But when you go to the playoffs, okay, the Indy 500's cool. It's awesome. The city's team is the Indianapolis Pacers. So when that happens,
the Indiana Pacers.
Who cares? But when that happens, that is something where you need to kind of show the world, the people who are watching. You want the NBA ratings to be better. You want all that stuff. You need to show, hey, in Indiana we care about basketball. Darius Butler said it in the first hour. It's the state of basketball. Well, then show us, because the fans were snoozing in the second half, and everybody's blaming Carlisle.
Oh, shut up,
Can I just add? I was there Game 2 in the Garden.
No, you can't add.
And it's a 4-point game. There's 3 seconds left. The Garden's still packed. I'm watching as Josh Hart and Brunson are making these free throws. A slow trickle of Pacers fans leaving before the game.
It was weird, man.
What is that? No, I understand. I understand the cars were vrooming, and we had the vroom shirts.
They're not vrooming. They're vroom, 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 vroom.
I get it.
That's what they're doing.
You probably don't even have a car in New York.
Yeah, you don't have to drive. Yeah, exactly. You walk your ass home.
We walk.
Hey, let me step over the human feces. And the rat poop.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, we get it. And maybe the reason why you're sticking around is because everybody knows they don't want to go get on a train with everybody else.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a part of lifestyle choices. Around here, we got traffic, brother. Okay? We got traffic. And if this one's over, we got Memorial Day the next day, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear. And these New York Knicks fans traveling out here, I got massive respect for. Welcome to our city. Thank you for coming.
So many.
We're not throwing trash bags at these people, though. Love to have them here. Let's go to one half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, AP Tone. What are we betting on tonight? Who do we like? How do we like it?
It's a big one. You talk about Game 4 and how big it is. So Thunder were also up 2-1 going into Game 4. They win Game 4. They're now minus 6,000 to win that series. So that's kind of how this goes. If the Pacers win tonight, it's also going to be a similar situation where they're going to be huge favorites to then win the series. But if the Knicks win, it's going to be very, very tight. Pacers are minus 210 to win the series now. If the Knicks win tonight, I assume it'll flip to them being favorites to win the series. Pacers are favorites tonight, minus 2.5 in this game. So
Which means absolutely nothing.
No, it really doesn't.
2.5 points means nothing. 20 points has just been an appetizer in this particular series.
The favorite has lost every game. I mean, Knicks were favorites at home. Pacers have been favored at home. Favorites lost every game in the series so far, so they're looking to reverse that tonight.
I don't love that.
Yeah. Well,
Carl Anthony Towns is minus 175 to say, "Oh my God," on some. Oh my God! That's a real thing. That's real.
Might be minus 250 at this point. Okay, so we talked about the Western Conference last night. Congrats to Oklahoma City getting a tight win. They're up 3-1 over the Minnesota Timberwolves. I love Ant. Didn't have his best game, but I love that he's potentially one of the faces of the league. Final four teams. Everybody's going to be great. It's going to be tough. Tonight's going to be insane. 8 o'clock on TNT tip-off here. Yes. We have you here. What the hell? 8 o'clock tip-off, you like that?
Yeah, it's right on the money, baby. And TNT, it's just everything you can really ask for.
Did try to FaceTime Sir Charles. I have his number. I try not to abuse it. Sure. I FaceTimed him here before the show. No answer.
Okay.
Chuck.
So we're going to try to get him, obviously, to come out here. He might be golfing.
He's probably golfing.
There's a chance he's golfing.
Beautiful day.
Yeah, he's probably golfing up there at...
Chatham Hills?
Nah, Crooked Stick.
Crooked Stick.
Okay, cool.
Purgatory. Chatham Hills, Purgatory. That other place we went to that didn't have a line ever that was great. Copperhead Road or something.
Yeah.
Copperhead Road.
Red Copper.
Yeah, Arrowhead.
Old Oakland.
Yeah, River Glen.
River Glen, but that's
Charles
the place.
Barkley's golfing in all those places and then doing a thing. All right. Anyways, Shrakes, we got to talk NFL with you being here. What are we talking about?
OTAs today, we got 20 different teams opening up practice.
Oh, nice.
It's mostly voluntary, who wants to go and who doesn't. But I see Mahomes, he's ready to go. You've got all these teams coming in. The question of the day, of course, is when does Aaron Rodgers decide he's going to join the Pittsburgh Steelers? It's been lingering. As of right now, there's no deadline from them. There's no deadline from him. Mason Rudolph is the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Mason Rudolph currently the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here in Indianapolis, we have a quarterback competition happening between number 4 overall pick Anthony Richardson, who's been here for a couple years, has been injured. Obviously, he's had some great moments, had some moments about trying to learn to become an NFL quarterback. And then Danny Dimes, who obviously had his entire situation in New York. I think that's a nice tie for New York and Indianapolis. We currently have Danny Dimes potentially as our quarterback. We have boots on the ground here in Indianapolis. We have sources that have told us that Danny Dimes enjoyed his first Indy 500 race day.
Is that right?
Yeah, we have been told that Daniel Jones has tried to become one with the city of Indianapolis on Sunday, and we assume it's just the beginning. We have heard that he was potentially out in an establishment having a great time with the people, enjoying the celebration of the greatest spectacle in racing happening in the Indy 500. Danny Dimes is a weapon, from what I've been told, off the field, and obviously we've seen some good times on the field with you guys. New York, New Jersey, what is the take on Daniel Jones?
They were done with him, and that's fine. He got them to a playoff game. He won a playoff game in Minnesota. It is a forgettable era of Giants history. I'm wearing my Saquon still here. These are the Saquon shoes. Saquon and Daniel Jones were supposed to be the guys. The Giants have moved on. They've already ripped that up and changed. But make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. Daniel Jones can still play good football. Daniel Jones, one of the toughest quarterbacks that the New York Giants have seen.
Yeah.
And Daniel Jones is
We're hearing maybe 10, 20, 30 beer day.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're hearing maybe he put some numbers up on the Indy 500 race day.
And that was the day.
And I want to let you know that has solidified me in one camp. Yeah, I love that Daniel Jones is here. I like that he had a day.
I'll tell you this. He was never a big, going out in the clubs in Manhattan guy. However, there was a Zach Bryan show at MetLife probably a year ago, and all of a sudden you're looking on stage, and there's Daniel Jones knowing every word, getting the credit, and a lot of Giants fans are like, good, there's some life in this guy.
Better in Indiana.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in Indiana.
That sounds
we get it. And then I seen him do flip cup right with Eli.
Oh, yeah.
Out at the bar. Flip cup with Eli. So Anthony Richardson, obviously immense talent. I mean, the upside is through the roof. Hopefully he's able to reach it this training camp. Hopefully he's able to accomplish what we drafted him number 4 overall to accomplish. But if not, D-Butt, we got good news coming out of the local watering holes. We got the guy.
I love the positive.
We're talking about. I heard Sharon.
Oh, you're gonna
I love the positive.
Yeah.
And he's here. He is a Colt.
These are rumors.
I remember watching Daniel Jones play a lot of football in New York.
Great football.
Watching on TV, watched all 22. I'm hopeful as well. We drafted a guy number 4 overall a couple years ago.
Okay.
That's the guy I want to figure it out and be the face of our franchise.
Forget about
10 to 15 years.
Okay.
It is a battle.
We're not forgetting about it. He's got a lot of opportunity.
He's got plenty.
Daniel Jones was 6 overall.
Danny Dimes, was out at the Tin Whistle, baby. And when I say the Tin Whistle, everyone knows I'm talking about the Tin Roof, one of the nicest bars in the country. And he wasn't just there, okay? He was bringing it down.
He was mixing it up, brother.
He was mixing it up. He was buying shots for people. He was buying cocktails.
Hey, he's in the middle of this live music, singing like, ha, la, la.
Bingo.
I mean, he was in there.
Rumor has it he almost grabbed the mic, okay? To sing a couple songs, D-Butt. So, hey, look, I love AR. But there's been a couple guys that have frequented some of these places. The Ras Killer, Tin Whistle. And you know what happens to those guys?
Superstardom.
All-pro, okay? You want to list a couple all-pros for the Colts that we've seen kind of roaming the streets? They're great players. Quentin Nelson, I've seen him sitting on a bench, hanging out with the people, drinking booze cocktails. Danny Dimes looks like he's going to be the all-pro of the AFC this year. So if I'm the
There's
Colts
a chance.
fans,
Listen, I was surprised. I was so surprised. Walk in. Hey, did you hear the news?
That was the news.
What was the news? Danny Dimes was doing it on Sunday.
Yeah.
Surprised.
And he wasn't Jones.
Danny Dimes has a presence like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Which does not come lightly.
There was 2 winners Sunday.
I can't believe I just heard that come out of your...
I can't believe I said it, but I saw the proof. The proof's in the pudding. Yeah. I saw what I saw. And listen, everyone wants to say AR, Danny Dimes. Can you imagine AR lining up a tight end and Danny Dimes just ripping one
We're
down
not changing positions yet.
Hey, I'm just saying.
You remember the Heisman package? Basically the same thing.
And let's just say, too, Danny Dimes wasn't taking no shit. I'll tell you that much. You want to step to Danny Dimes, he's ready to
Daniel Jones being out and about in Indianapolis on race weekend is very much like a welcome to the city. I'm excited to watch their quarterback competition. I like hearing that he's super tough because maybe that'll radiate through the rest of the locker room. Made a lot of moves on the defensive side of the ball this offseason.
Oh, yeah.
Feels like the Colts are on the up and up. They got to follow the pace of the Pacers in the city and the Fever, who we've obviously discussed. Caitlin Clark will be out 2 weeks. Let's talk about some other news that happened just yesterday. The reason why we were off is because there was a national championship happening on ESPN. And congratulations to Cornell.
Yeah.
I know somebody who went to Cornell.
Oh, yeah. Big Red.
I know where Cornell is. Quick, what state?
New York, I believe. Yeah.
Is that right?
Ithaca, New York. There you go.
Of course.
Yeah,
I knew
Ithaca.
that. We know everything about the Ivy League. Massive respect for the Ivy League. Big brains. I've heard some of the classes are pass-fail, so just got to be kind of a
Cornell
average.
I've heard Cornell very bad things about Cornell academically, not in the sense where it's pass-fail, in the sense where like, hey, you gotta basically stay up all night and day to study for Cornell.
Oh, so you said heard bad things, but it's actually like gotta actually do
good things, yeah, good things, but bad for people who want to have fun.
Old buddy for Cornell's the guy, and I didn't know there was another royal family of lacrosse.
Yeah, the Kirst family, CJ Kirst. Yeah, I believe he had 6 goals. He tied the single-season record, 82 goals this season in 18 games. It's pretty ridiculous. Yesterday was incredible. The Maryland team and the Cornell team battled it out. It was close for a little bit, and then CJ Kirst, I think he had 4 straight unassisted goals. The kid just went bananas. I think he had 6 or 7 goals on the day, and they win their first title since 1977. Really cool story with the Kirst family. Most of his brothers, one of his brothers actually is a Boston Cannon legend. Yeah, he is one of the players that's going to carry the torch this year. CJ Kirst, he's the first pick in the PLL draft this year. They're saying he already is going to be one of the best players in the PLL when he gets to his training camp probably next weekend.
Look at that packed out stadium.
Bro, Foxborough, that's Gillette.
That's Gillette, yeah.
They packed it out.
Did it in Foxborough. It was incredible. They haven't really done it in Foxborough in a little bit, I believe. They used to all the time. But, yeah, it was a fantastic scene there.
And riddle me this, the Ivy League winning again is a big deal in the lacrosse conversation.
Yeah, big deal. Kind of stinks, for all those people that were kind of Team Kavanaugh. Pat Kavanaugh came on last year, a couple years ago, and said, hey, look, the Ivy Leagues are a bunch of frauds, which they have been. That's why Cornell winning was a massive deal. They are a great story.
Who'd they beat in the finals?
They beat Maryland.
Where's Maryland at?
It's in the Big Ten.
Oh, so it's a Big Ten Ivy League sport now? The ACC's dead?
No, because Notre Dame's ACC. So if anything, the Big Ten is dead. Because they haven't won it in a few years here now with the ACC and Ivy League now doing the last 3 years.
No, does this go against, because I know you've been talking, especially when AJ was on, about kind of one of these Big Ten teams potentially growing the game and that'd be good for the game as a whole. How do you feel about that now with Cornell winning? First one since '77.
Yeah, I don't know if it's as big of a deal because it's with C.J. Kirst, and C.J. Kirst is the guy in college lacrosse this year.
He's winning the.
He's going to win the Tour. He's the Balloon Day lacrosse.
It is also known by that.
Yeah. It makes sense.
What's it really called? The toilet? What's the
Tuaraton, brother.
So he'll
Kavanaugh won it last year.
Yeah, the bigger stars like this makes C.J. Kirst an even bigger star. So like when you're talking about locations and areas like Ohio State winning it, making Ohio bigger in lacrosse, that's a big deal. But also just having like a true face, which Maryland, to be honest, didn't really have. Like Maryland would have been the worst case winning as far as growing the game because Maryland's
very big in lacrosse already.
Very established already. Their coach, that would have been his third title. They don't have an 80 goal scorer like C.J. Kirst is. Him winning was a massive deal. Cornell being back on the map was a massive deal, and it turns out we might be NLL guys.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. The Buffalo Bandits have won another NLL title, and Chase Frazier has put up another highlight reel, and we actually got a shout out to the NLL. Run this thing, Foxy.
Couldn't handle the interior feed. Now he'll catch it. Frazier. Wow. He just doesn't care. One-handed behind the back. Call Pat McAfee. Get this guy on the show.
Absolutely speechless.
I would love to have Chase Frazier on the program. The guy's an absolute monster. I love how Canadian the commentator sounded right there. And thanks for the shout out. We are massive fans of this guy. Just like I say in our sport, if you have enough comfort to do the pizzazz alongside of it, especially in the championship, I believe this was. So for him to have the softs and the moxie to do that consecutively, seemingly every single game, we're big Chase Frazier's guys. And whenever you think about the NLL, which I definitely knew existed.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
Yeah, for sure. You knew that it was founded in 1986. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah, and I knew it's box lacrosse, which is certainly a more Canadian style of lacrosse than what the PLL is running.
You were shocked when, remember the Avalanche and all Kroenke's teams, his NLL team, they all won those titles like back to back to back to back.
I was so pumped up about that whenever it happened. I'm like, the NLL is the real deal. And then once I started looking into it a little bit more, the NLL is much more exciting than any of the other stuff that I've been watching in the lacrosse world. Is a Kavanaugh brother in the NLL now?
Yes, Patty Kavanaugh is playing for the San Diego Seals. Very formidable.
Boom, makes it even easier. That's my league. The NLL is the league. They are exciting. They'll fight.
Oh, yeah.
They will drop them and fight each other. Highlight goals every single game. Yeah, and this is going to be more the style of what the Olympics are going to be, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a smaller field. I believe it's still outside. I don't think it's going to be an indoor arena like this, but it will be like a 6-on-6 with an actual lacrosse goalie, but not the hockey pad goalie, but still very similar style.
We did learn that Chase Frazier is Canadian.
Unfortunately, but that's okay. It's not his fault.
He should play for America, though. He's a Buffalo Bandit.
He is.
He should play for the United States.
Through and through.
Just like Lou Messi needs to be a United States of America player.
Exactly.
Sidney Crosby needs to be playing for the United States of America. Let's go back to the truck, actually. Let's go to the other half of the hammer. Dahn. Cowboys, Bubba Gumpino. Hey, I heard a hockey tournament ended this weekend. Who won that one?
Oh. USA won it for the first time since 1933.
Yeah!
What? 33?
Yeah. We're back.
USA! 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 USA!
This is the one Sid was playing in?
Yes.
And McKinnon was playing in?
Sid lost?
Was Canada in the final?
No, they got knocked out early, actually.
Yeah.
Sweden beat them or something like that?
Denmark, even worse.
Oh, it was Denmark. It was plus 3,000 or something.
Who's that, Tage Thompson?
Who's this right here?
Tage Thompson, he's a Buffalo Sabre. He's a dominant player.
Yeah, USA wins this thing. Obviously, Borgetta there had no idea
He
what was
played
happening.
tough, though. He played tough.
Yeah, no, they all play tough. It's hockey. You're going to play tough. But the United States takes home the International Super Duper Cup for the first time in a long time. And Gumpy, does that mean we're in the driver's seat to win the next Olympics? And maybe Sid and the boys should try to be playing for the United States of America?
If you win 25 more of these, you'll be tied with Canada.
Oh.
Yeah,
but who has the time? When's the next one?
Who won the last one? That's all that matters.
Who's US's goalie going to be?
Hey, we're going to have Otter, I assume. Can you get a shot up there of that? Hey, Scott, we need you to shoot that metal sphere over there.
Oh, it's better.
Is that the
Look on the inside. Can you zoom in on that thing? Look at the inside. I think they got our logo on the inside of that thing.
I do see it.
Oh, yeah.
It's fire.
Dude, that is sick.
That's sick.
Shout out to the Pacers. Hey, thank you, Pacers, for doing this. It's the details. It's the little things. I heard Algie went and did that, turned that thing on.
Yeah, Algie and Groups who were up all night kind of getting that done.
Algie's got a new hairdo. I see he's kind of rocking it. Algie, one of the security guys for Gamebridge Fieldhouse. He really locks it down. He came back from that direction. That popped up on there. I assume he went there, flexed, turned it on, did the whole thing.
Yeah, he gets it done. I mean, we saw him tracking down that guy who was trying to steal cars, tackled that son of a bitch. Damn, he got an award. I mean, it's real security around here.
Yeah, now he's growing his hair, trying to go undercover. The guy might be a Navy SEAL coming up. Who knows? Let's continue to talk about other sports that we don't get to talk about enough. Let's stay in hockey. What's going on with the Panthers, brother? Hurricanes win 3-0. They're down 3-1. You think the Cats are going to be able to handle this? And what has the series been? Just Panthers beating the shit out of the Canes until last night?
Beating the absolute shit out of. I got a chance to go Saturday on my pop's birthday to witness a 6-2 ass whooping. But yeah, we kind of let off the gas. I don't know exactly what happened. Was on a flight last night, had some spotty service, landed, saw your message first, then saw the 3-0 loss. So that's definitely unfortunate. Finally, the Canes get a win. I think they're 1-15 in their last conference finals game. So the streak is finally over for the Canes. But I think we'll get it done in Carolina. We'll close it out. Gentlemen's sweep, and then we'll have some nice time off before the Stanley Cup championship.
Maybe.
Shregs, you follow hockey at all?
No,
I do. I'm a New York Rangers fan. It didn't go well for us this year.
Yeah, beat their ass last year.
You guys beat our ass in the conference finals last year, and I went to a couple of those games. So, yeah, like the hockey, but, you know, right now, every time you guys are talking, I'm just thinking Knicks and NBA.
Okay, well, speaking of Knicks in the NBA, Shregs, we're going to ask you to get up for a moment, and we're going to welcome in a New York firefighter.
Hell yeah.
A man who protects and serves his community. And in doing so, he loves the team from the state of Indiana. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who received a nice flight. I heard it was first class.
Okay,
man.
A man who's staying in a suite, I do believe, in one of the hotels around town.
Boom.
A man who's being treated the way he should be treated in the city in which he serves. But instead, in the city in which he comes from, he had bags of trash thrown at his back. He was attacked on the streets. He was called a bum. He was ridiculed and mocked and maybe even mobbed by a group of New Yorkers.
Jeez.
That represent the entire city, everybody in it, that group right there.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man who's going to bring great aura into the arena tonight. A man who knows the sweet science, ladies and gentlemen, alongside Boomer of the Pacers. Hans Perez, ladies and gentlemen.
Hans!
Baby. Hans, great to see you, dude.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, Hans.
Did you see Bruce push him?
Yeah, I saw
Scumbag.
Sir,
It's an honor.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Welcome to the city, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. We got to get your mic on when we do. It is in. Hey, thank you for coming out to the city. How's it been, brother? Speaking of, you got to speak into the mic.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's been awesome. As soon as I got out the gate at the airport, I got fire service guys waiting for me. You know, the whole airport was there taking pictures of me. I pull up to the hotel. I got the Pacemates. I got Boomer there with me waiting for me.
Oh, you're having a time, huh?
Oh, man, this is nothing I got ready getting souvenirs, got Naptown Fire. So this is awesome. This is great.
Okay, well, we're lucky you're in our city. We're thankful that you came. Has it all been smooth? Did he fly you first class? Did you get a good hotel room? Are your tickets tonight good enough? Is there anything we need to hammer Tyrese Halliburton about?
Tyrese did great. Tyrese did awesome. Yeah, he laid out the red carpet for me. This is great.
Well, I think because you're here, that's why they're letting Tyrese's dad back in the building as well.
Yeah.
What are you expecting from tonight's game, Hans?
Oh, tonight we're going up 3-1. Pacers are getting the job done tonight. Knicks are in trouble. Knicks are going down. Tonight was supposed to be the sweep. You know, I felt Tyrese brought me here because he knew it was going to be a sweep, but greater powers probably had something involved with that. Who knows? But tonight is 3-1. We're going back to New York to cut it out, close this thing out, and resounding victory tonight.
What has life been like for you back in New York now that everybody knows you're a Pacers fan in New York? I think like probably your friends, obviously that mob knew because you're wearing the jersey, but now it feels like everybody knows that you're a Pacers fan that lives in New York. What has life been like for the last week or so?
Oh man, I've been getting my chops bust all followed my life for being a Pacers fan from my friends and growing up and family. But now, like, the whole fire department knows I'm a Pacers fan. People, my daughter's softball game. I'm going to the softball game. I got all the parents coming up to me like, oh my God.
Celebrity! Celebrity! You're getting your balls busted for being a celebrity too, I assume? I assume your fire department is obviously mocking you for the amount of attention you're getting for all this, or no?
Slightly, a little bit.
Well, I think you've been handling it very well. I think it's been a great story of this entire series, and I think I've seen a lot of New York people back you too and say like, hey, that's not how we would act. I assume you've gotten a lot of that from them as well?
Yeah, no, a lot. I've been getting a lot of that, even from Knicks fans telling me like, that's not right, that's not cool, that's not how you treat people, like regardless who you support, you know. But yeah, they just they're showing support though. They're loving me. They're giving me a lot of credit for holding it down, taking it easy, and they're telling me that wasn't right.
Yeah, being a fan is a good thing. Being a sports fan is a good thing. Being in New York City, being a Pacer fan during this era is a wild decision, we will say. As we saw the video, we all thought it was wild. Now we're thankful that you're getting a chance to experience it. Keep staying on business for the Pacers.
That's right.
Connor has a question for you, Hans.
Yeah, so Hans, when you're watching these games, are you worried at all about, you know, the next round? Are you thinking about the NBA championship? Or have you kind of parlayed this into like, hey, Tyrese, if we win Game 4, I'm gonna have to be here for Game 6. I'm probably gonna have to be here for Game 1 of the NBA Finals, to be honest.
You know, I wouldn't want to ask him to talk about Game 6 because I don't think it's going that far. You know, we're not gonna see a Game 6 this series. It's not gonna happen. So maybe we can talk about the finals. But nah, Pacers are going all the way. If it's OKC or Minnesota, this team is destined. This is a hell of a team right here. The comeback against Milwaukee, the comeback against Cleveland, the first Game 1 comeback against the Knicks. Like, this team is.
Yeah, but what about being up 20 and losing?
Hey. The Knicks.
I don't like it either.
I don't like it neither. You know, but stuff happens.
Where were you when you were watching that game? What was the roller coaster of emotion up 20 when they come back and win?
Game 3, I watched it in the firehouse. I was in the firehouse with the guys watching it. So
that's dope.
Yeah.
Well,
you were the only Pacers fan in there, I assume?
The only Pacers fan. Yeah. So.
Yeah, they got you.
They were getting on me the game, but they were sad the first half. First half, I was trying to keep my not cheer too much, not be too happy in front of their faces, but yeah, it was rough dealing with that. I had to go downstairs and watch it on the TV by myself during the comeback because it was too much here.
Yeah, that's going to continue. I couldn't even fathom if the Knicks come back and win this series. They won't.
Not a chance.
Got a lot of Knicks in 6 texts happening from every New York Knicks person, and obviously over there,
here they
got a 5 and a middle finger on the New York Knicks guy. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate everything about it. Hans, have you had any of the local establishments? Have you had any of our local meat? How has the day been here? And have you seen the city at all?
I'm so far from the airport to here. I've got to.
Oh, you just got here?
I just got here.
Buddy, go explore.
Yeah, local meat is.
I can't wait to.
Top tier.
Yeah, the local steaks here are the best. That's what we're known for. You need to go to a couple steakhouses.
I'm down to try some of the local meat.
Yeah, try some of the local meat. Eat all the local meat that you can.
Big pause.
Charles
Tip
was talking
afterwards.
about street meat, loving street meat.
I don't know if the street meat here is the best, but you go to like St. Elmo's, Harry and Izzy's, Prime 47.
A little classier, not street meat.
Yeah, they would love to have you, I assume.
We're in Indiana. We're going to do it classy.
Yeah, well, we're very appreciative of you being here. Enjoy the night. Thank you for stopping by. And let's win one tonight, huh?
Yes, sir. Big one. Big game.
Hans Perez.
Yeah, baby Hans.
Take care, guys.
Thank you for everything. Enjoy yourself, man.
Yep. Good luck, dude. Go get him.
What's that?
Is this your?
Yes, that's gifts that I brought for you guys.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Jeez, I did not know that.
I know you love a tank top. So
Hell yeah, the Gas House gang.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Boom.
That's a tank for the guys.
Engine 206. What up, crew?
Gas House gang.
Yes, sir. I bought some for the does.
Hey, there we go. Hey, I love that, Hans. And I appreciate the Gas House gang.
Yeah, that's awesome.
sick.
Yeah, JG represent. Hey,
Take care, guys.
Thank you
we
for
appreciate
everything,
you.
Hans.
Appreciate you, Hans.
Hans, thank you for being the epitome of a fan, dude. That was a real deal.
If you ever want to transfer to a different firehouse to a city that respects you,
Yeah, I wonder how that works. Can you just kind of say I'm going to be Indianapolis firefighter?
I think if you're a New York firefighter, you could pretty much transfer wherever you want.
Sean said it. This is going to be a crazy offseason, man.
He says it's going to be the wildest offseason, most craziest.
Yeah, most craziest offseason ever.
Most craziest offseason.
Hans is getting traded for 4 first-round picks.
I mean, there is a chance that happens. There's a chance that Hans just becomes an Indianapolis native. It happened with Gio.
Yeah, it did.
Podcaster?
Gio lives in Indy?
Gio lives in Indy. I think he's going to a Temple.
He's going to Temple,
He followed Carson Wentz.
No, his dad got a job out here. Carson happened to come out here at the same time. They obviously had a connection. Now Gio's going back to Philadelphia. But this city will captivate you.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of guys that play here stay here. Obviously, a great place to raise your family. Obviously, a great place to live. A lot of things to do. Small town feel. The weather, I will say,
comes and goes.
It's a hit or miss.
We're in it now, though.
Not terrible.
It's nice now.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, we got the great part of it here for a little bit, and then it'll get shitty, in about 2 months and be
No. 3.5 months.
If we're lucky.
4.
It's about to be amazing here in Indianapolis. This weather is perfect right now, to be clear. Sun's not too crazy. The weather's not too hot, not too cold. There is a little breeze just in case you start sweating.
Yeah.
Go ahead and Mother Nature just says, go ahead and cool down a little bit. God bless you to D-Butt. Joining us back again, ladies and gentlemen, New York Knicks fan, Pierce Schrager.
Whoa!
Him and Bruce have been bopping each other all day.
And both rocking Kith, too.
Good contingent.
There's
New
a
York
Knicks
mandatory?
contingency
It's a good
kind of
contingent.
gathering over here. I like their accents. I can hear it through their yells. I also appreciate that one of the guys is literally using his middle finger to use the one. He's going, this is...
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, Knicks at 6.
love that.
That's the
Staten
most New
Island,
York
where you
thing of
from?
all time.
Staten Island. I could see Staten Island from a mile away. All that Staten Island. That is so Staten Island.
Forearm tat right there,
Oh,
Staten Island.
love it. They're my
What is
guys.
Staten Island? That's the...
That's the poopy island. So there's Long Island. Long Island's
Isn't that where
really
Lady
a nice
Liberty?
place.
Is it Lady Liberty on Staten Island?
Ellis.
Staten Island's where Pete?
Pete
Davidson.
is king of Staten Island.
Colin Jost, the Staten Island guy.
They bought the ferry, right?
He did. Bought the Staten Island ferry.
Yeah.
So hold on, that's the boroughs,
investment.
all the boroughs
It's
here.
5 boroughs, and you've got Queens, Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, and then you've got Staten Island, which is connected by the Verrazano, connects Brooklyn and Staten Island. So
yeah.
Staten Island's represented here. I like
I believe Wu-Tang also from Staten Island.
Shaolin.
What,
Yes, sir.
what part of Pittsburgh is Nick from? He's not the poopy side of Plum, right?
Yeah, he is from the poopy side.
That's Staten Island in New York.
Okay.
Regency.
Yeah, Regency.
is
You're
the
talking about
There it is,
Regency?
Regency.
It's
yeah.
the poopy
What
side
would
of
that
Plum.
be for Indianapolis?
The West Side. Beautiful,
I think it would be
beautiful
East
part
Side
of the
if we're
city.
actually going to do this
Staten
accurately.
Island takes a lot of crap. People, but they are proud people right there, and I like that, and I respect that.
No, they actually take a lot of crap, though, right? Isn't that kind of the thing? Because it's where the... Hey, we appreciate you Staten Islanders coming out here today.
There, you need him. It's gritty bunch.
Let's talk about some baseball that's happening around the MLB. The biggest superstars are playing their best ball. Aaron Judge still hitting baseballs?
Yeah, big time.
Aaron Judge might end up with an over 400 batting average, which would be the first time since...
Ted Williams.
In
like 1930 something.
Yeah, before he went to the war.
Yeah.
He's one of the biggest stars in baseball. He's playing fantastic. Paul Skeens is still kind of stuck in Pittsburgh. We'll continue to
Best
monitor
pitching
that
staff in the
situation. Yeah, they don't give up a lot of runs. They just can't score, so they lose all the time, seemingly in Pittsburgh.
Well said.
But out in L.A., they have a global phenomenon. His name's Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani not only great with the stick, but he's back pitching. Ty, we're going to see this guy pitching this year. This will be first time, long time.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. Jet Passan, because I asked him last time he was on the show, hey, I mean, are we going to see Shohei throw anytime soon? And he basically shut it down immediately and said no. But he's throwing live BP, so that's another big step. That means he's off the mound, throwing as hard as he can, probably touching triple digits. Shohei wants to pitch, and I think Shohei has kind of earned the right, especially within the Dodgers organization. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do. So as long as he lets them know that he feels good and the Dodgers pitching staff is a little banged up, I think there's a chance we see him. My guess would be it probably wouldn't be until after the All-Star break, though.
Tregs, Shohei Ohtani, global superstar, maybe the best player playing too, outside of Aaron Judge, who's hitting phenomenally. But if he is to pitch well and hit well, you're talking about stuff that's never been done, and he's the most famous guy in the world. That'd be great for the MLB that has been looking for something, maybe to kind of put itself back in the stratosphere of other sports.
Yeah, look, the Mets and Dodgers played this past weekend in New York, and it was a big deal.
Are you a Mets guy or a Yankees guy?
I'm a Yankees guy myself.
Hell yeah,
but
Shregs.
Sorry to the Mets fans. But when they're in town, and I went to the World Series in the playoffs last year, this guy is the biggest star in the game. How do you market it even more? He's got a huge personality when he's doing all that stuff. It's international. And I think if I'm going to bring it back to football, Travis Hunter has the ability to do maybe this wide receiver cornerback thing, which would be breaking ground. Maybe he has a chance to maybe be the Ohtani of football in that, hey, we can go and do it in a different way than it's been done traditionally for all these years.
Okay, let's talk about that. I've seen videos of Travis Hunter. I believe he got married. Congratulations.
Congrats, Travis.
Forever's a long time. Obviously, big decision. I am a happily married man, as are a lot of people on this stage. So congrats to Travis Hunter. I saw him going into a kid's front yard, I think, to work with him. Down there, he's everything that everybody says about him is all good things. Guy's football IQ's through the roof. He's a joy to be around. He loves ball. He doesn't like doing anything else. Travis Hunter, obviously, a lot of expectations being drafted that high. He has talked about being a complete football player. He wouldn't feel as if he's doing the game justice if he didn't play on offense and on defense. Then in one of the rookie OTAs, he didn't take any snaps at DB. He only took routes. What is the conversation happening down there in Duval with Travis Hunter? Because this is the AFC South, brother. And Travis Hunter, I don't know if he wants to come into this Lucas Oil Lighthouse and deal with both sides of the ball, but it sounds like this is actually going to happen. And how does Jacksonville feel about it?
I think the intention is he's going to get an opportunity this summer to do both, and we'll see how it goes. The truth of the matter is they took such a big swing in trading up and giving up next year's first-round pick and giving all these other future picks to get him. They're going to maximize this. I like Jacksonville's approach to this whole entire new regime in that 39-year-old head coach, 34-year-old GM, Grant Udinski, the offensive coordinator, 29 years old. Sheesh. And their defensive coordinator, Campanelli, who might be Staten Island-based, Anthony Campanile, might be from Staten Island. I'm not sure. He's a New York, New Jersey guy. 42 years old. So they're like, we're going young. We're taking a big swing. We're tired of the retread stuff. And I appreciate the fact they went for it in the draft. And then you saw Gladstone's press afterwards. Talks like he's from out of space, and it's a different kind of generation, how he talks.
You've known Stoner for a while, I assume, because he comes through the McVay camp out there in Los Angeles. Sean McVay came on the program after he was hired, and we looked at a picture of Stoner, and we're like, they hired a 12-year-old. They hired an actual 12-year-old down there in Jacksonville. And then McVay comes on and goes, take it easy on my man Stoner. He loves the game, sees the game the same way I do. So if you have that young of people in so many pillar positions, I assume it's all long-term thinking down there, because they still got to build a stadium. I mean, this is not an easy couple years for Jacksonville going forward.
Look, they've got the quarterback signed, but we're waiting for him to take that leap. And as we talk Jaguars football, everyone already is like, they want to be interesting. They don't want to be the 32nd team in the league. They don't want to be the team that all the networks are like, you give us a Jaguars game? What are we doing? They want to be a team that's relevant, but also a team that can play in an interesting brand of football. Last year's draft, this kid right here, Brian Thomas, was as good as any other rookie wide receiver. That includes Neighbors, that includes Harrison, it includes Adunze. They've got a feeling they've got some stuff there. And then Stoner and Liam Cohen come from that youthful Rams organization. So
has Liam figured out the whole...
I don't know about the Duval thing, man. I don't get it.
What if they just change it for him?
If they start winning, and like you mentioned, they figure out Trevor Lawrence and they get him playing top level. You talked about Travis Hunter. Him having Brian Thomas Jr. on the other side is a huge for him and his potential to grow and be a great rookie.
Travis feels like a home run human.
Yes.
Yeah. Like everything we've heard out of him. Home run.
So raw at wide receiver, though, in the fact that he hasn't been coached as a wide receiver in that way, where a lot of the stuff he did at Colorado was all natural, big hands. I'll go after the catch. I'll do it. Now he's going to be treated as a wide receiver and given that NFL coaching and the ability to elevate the game even more.
Because you got to be in a spot. So the difference between NFL and college. College is an area. NFL is like a spot. And if you're not at said spot, guys like Darius J. Butler will beat you to that spot. And it's a pick going the other way. And Trevor Lawrence needs to have a great year. So he needs to have a lot of trust in you. So I see a lot of people on the internet judging Travis Hunter's routes. His hands are down. He's giving away. All those things are accurate. Yeah. All those things are real takes. It's all new. But also it's something he can learn, I think, with how athletic he is. I think these are techniques and fundamentals that he can learn and work on and sell. And I think that means his upside is still very, 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 very much ahead of where he is now. So good luck to him. But he's got a problem in the AFC South with the Indianapolis Colts. No doubt. We joked about it earlier with Danny Dimes introducing himself to the city and the city introducing itself to Danny Dimes this weekend. I love that. Quarterback competition at the top. What have you heard from the quarterback competition, and what does that mean, quarterback competition? They're splitting one's reps? Yeah. They're splitting time in meeting rooms? Yes. How does that work? I don't know how that works.
It's going to be pure. It's going to be a wide open competition between the two, and Chris Ballard could have passed on this and said, you know what, we drafted Anthony Richardson 4th overall. My name's on that. No, they went and they brought him real competition, and I could tell you Minnesota was very very interested in bringing Daniel Jones back, and he chose to be an Indianapolis Colt. He looked at this situation and said, I can win that job, and I can revitalize that franchise. So he's not coming here to be the backup, and Richardson isn't willing to just give it to him. So very rarely in the NFL these days do you get two young quarterbacks fighting for their careers. You have that in Indianapolis, and I think that's good for both of them.
I think so, too. Cannot wait to see them battle. I think that's tough for a team, though. I think the locker room is going to know who's winning that battle a lot earlier than everybody else. And I don't know how you don't have biases. Not that our show has any biases. Nope. Obviously, we are
right down the middle.
Every time. Just like this Eastern Conference Finals. That's why we brought in the coach elitist right here. Okay? We checked the box here.
That's right.
For that entire thing. But the locker room's not going to be like that. I'll be intrigued to see how it all gets managed. That's a lot of effort out of Shane Steichen. Now, let's go to Green Bay. Ty, go ahead.
Yeah, Shriggs, what's the latest with Jair Alexander? Saw it came out that, they offered him kind of a different contract, or they're trying to work on it, but the sides are still a ways away. Obviously, the last couple times you've been on, I asked because you had dinner with Matt LaFleur the night before the NFL draft, or 2 nights before. What can you tell us about this situation? Is this close to getting done? Because the Packers still need Jair Alexander.
I think this comes a lot differently than what you were reading leading into the draft, that he was supposed to be traded draft week. I came on this show and I said, I'm a lot higher on them getting this thing settled, because I knew Matt and Jeff Hafley, in addition to Matt, both wanted to keep Jair in the fold and consider him a team leader and a chance to get it done. This contract situation, as Schneiderman is reporting, seems like it's at least being there's a conversation, but he said he's going to be at mandatory camp either way. So to me, we are light years ahead in this relationship as opposed to where we were, the perception was going into the draft. So I'm confident that both sides want to get it done. It's just got to be sensible how to make it happen.
Packers fans want it done, right?
Yeah, they need him.
Healthy.
When he's healthy, he's one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. He hasn't been healthy the last several years, and they kind of did. I don't want to say cleaned house, but you look at their depth chart, they don't have a lot of guys who have started a lot of games in the NFL cornerback. They obviously went out and got Hobbs from Vegas this offseason, but when he is elite, I mean, me and D-Bud have talked about this, he's an all-pro cornerback. They need him.
Absolute game changer when he's out there and healthy. And you mentioned Jeff Hafley, his defense, the leap that they took, even with him not being out there full-time, being healthy, bringing in over former Giant safety Xavier McKinney, who was dynamic all-pro as well. He is a big cornerstone piece who could potentially, he has another big-time year next year. He's one of those guys that get another big deal if he can stay on that field.
Still only 27 years old.
Dynamic playmaker, and from everything that I've heard, the guys in the locker room like him.
One of the greatest stories we've ever heard still.
Yeah.
It's him just naming himself captain. That's the greatest.
Carolina.
That is the absolute greatest.
He forgot.
I couldn't even imagine LaFleur. LaFleur had to be so pissed.
But how did LaFleur not know he's from Charlotte?
Yeah, it's on LaFleur. That's certainly on LaFleur for not naming him captain. I mean, but from that moment until what you said, it's the relationship is obviously, I assume LaFleur learned a lot about who Jair is there in that entire moment. And, sometimes there's frustrations that have to come to a head for people to develop their relationship the most. Feels like they like him. He likes them. Yeah. He'd be great for him. Hopefully they're able to get a deal done. He is a great personality.
Yes.
He is great for the league. I would like him to do more interviews. That's my only hope.
How do we feel about the quarterback though? Because
don't do this.
Jordan Love coming in the last season.
Great.
Everyone was, hey, this could be the MVP. This could be the guy that hey, they got it right again.
Vikings and Bears fans back here saying he sucks.
I mean, I saw.
Bears fans said that was not me. Hold on, we do not have our shit figured out either.
I saw him on the mound at that Brewers game throwing out that first pitch.
Anytime a pitch goes out of the frame, not a great
What
sign.
happened? I did not see this.
Threw a first pitch.
Pull it.
It was
It was too. He was too cool for school out there. He kind of lollipopped.
Jordan Love threw an opening pitch, first pitch.
He did.
Do we have it?
Quarterback.
I think in his mind, he's thinking, hey, the Brewers fucking suck. they don't deserve my A+ game. I'm not going to go out here.
Why is he playing to the level of his competition?
Bingo. Well, I mean, hey, listen, he's,
Russell Wilson.
What does he owe the Brewers? He doesn't know the Brewers anything.
Oh, no.
He can't be lollipopping it in there.
Hold on. He didn't want to hurt his arm.
I was a little surprised we didn't start the show with this.
What are we doing here?
That's strictly because I did not see that until right now. Can we go back to the beginning?
You got to burn it down the middle.
It's a quarterback.
I mean, it was a completion, though.
Yeah.
Sure. It was a completion.
Yeah, it might be picked off.
I've thrown one first pitch, and it was for the Indianapolis Indians here, the AAA affiliate for the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's the name of the team. That's the name of the team. I agree. Hey, that's the name of the team. That's the name. I didn't name the team.
That guy gets it.
I don't own the team. It is the name of the team.
It's an honor.
In Indianapolis, Indiana, it is the Indianapolis Indians. They're the AAA affiliate of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Paul Skeens was here. Oh, my God. That's the name of the team.
Yeah, jeez.
Jeez, this guy.
Come on.
This guy's a bad guy.
Oh, Dahn.
It's right here. He went to a game. This guy actually bought a bunch of tickets.
Yeah.
How could you not? Beautiful park.
Oh, it's
Beautiful
so nice.
park.
Right downtown Indianapolis.
Great.
I mean, it's
Fun
got
time.
It is gorgeous. It is a great park.
A lot of booze.
To be clear, I think in that area they could get some more space and build that up.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Indianapolis would be a great baseball.
Well, the owner would have to spend some money.
It would be, but I'm saying if it was a
Need to
MLB
change the
team,
affiliates, yeah.
yeah, if it was an actual team, I think it would do very well here. People love it. You go to a game. When Paul Skeens was here, place was sold out. People were standing in the stadium, in the downtown buildings. It was a beautiful thing. They asked me to throw one.
How'd it go?
So I never threw off a bump. I didn't grow up playing baseball. Used to go down to Burrow Field Zone and enjoy the entertainment. It was a good time. Everybody was down there. Never played baseball, though. Tim McAfee hated baseball. Wouldn't sign me up for it. Always had a good arm, pretty explosive, good hand-eye. Could have been a great baseball player. I think there's a chance I could have been good. Tim McAfee was not about it. Said, we're not committing to this.
Too long, no clock.
Boom. So I've never done it. So then I get asked to do the first pitch, like day of or whatever. Call my friends that play baseball, and they go, you need to throw through the catcher whenever you're up there. Because your natural thought is going to be to throw it down because you're elevated. You need to throw it through because I want to throw heat. I want to throw absolute gas. Of
course.
Right.
So I went in there. Lo and behold, they were right. I tried to throw that down. Skipped it through the legs of the catcher.
Oh, well,
hit the back thing. Put a hole. I put a hole in one of the promotional banners in the back. Maybe worst opening pitch of all time. But the conversation at point is, I said I'm bringing it.
Yeah. Bingo.
And I think if you're an athlete and you go up there, I think that is you got a chance here to actually attempt an actual pitch.
Burn one down the middle.
Jordan Love said, I play at Green Bay every other week. I don't need to be proving myself to anybody, and just lobbed it in there and didn't get hurt. Is that what we're assuming? And do starting quarterbacks normally throw it hard? Because there's a lot of potential opportunity for elbow, shoulder, you name it, injuries with the difference in weight.
I don't know if he played baseball growing up. I've seen Baker Mayfield throw a first pitch, and
Russell Wilson.
He burned one. Russell's a second baseman, so that's a little bit different.
He was in full uniform, full glove.
Which is obviously what Russ is going to do no matter what.
Sunglasses.
Are you worried about Jordan Love? Like, D-Butch brings up a good point. I've not seen that. That was his decision.
Is he a competitor? That's it. That's what worries me. Is I don't love the too cool for school approach because I know if Jordan Love wants to, he's burning that thing 97 right down the middle.
Surprised he didn't throw off
Nick
his
just
back.
said, Nick just said, why didn't you just go underhand? Like the floater from Roan Garden.
I mean, you can't do
when he pulls the glove back and he goes floater or whatever. He says, go for it. It's his mom's
That'd
glove.
be cool.
Why didn't he just do that?
Well, because that's Mickey Mouse. You don't do that shit.
That was Mickey Mouse.
What was that?
He's just getting it done with. He's checking a box. You know what he's thinking? I need an ice cold Miller Lite, and I need a hot dog stat. He's not, because, again, the Brewers
This guy's
suck.
eating hot dogs and drinking beers?
I hope so, if he's at a ball game, like a real American would do.
If he's dating dimes.
On Memorial Day weekend,
Yeah, exactly. I think, you know what? Actually, you raise a good point. He might have had to scurry out there, and he might have been doing the flyover.
Maybe
He might have been piloting,
on Memorial Day weekend, he didn't want to show up the troops. He just said, hey, let me get out
All
of here.
right, so Jordan Love,
a great guy.
Pretty bold of the Vikings fan.
Great guy.
Of anybody to be.
They got J.J. McCarthy. He's okay. He's got nothing to worry about.
Is he A-okay?
We don't know. We have no idea. We just hope for the best and
How many
assume.
playoff wins does he have?
In college, a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Had a lot of playoff
Sounds
college
good.
wins.
Cade McNamara had a couple of college playoff wins, too.
Boom.
Where's he playing? Western Carolina or something?
Hey, it's a good lad. He's a Vikings fan. He traveled to the show. You don't need to be attacking him. He's a good man.
He attacked me first.
He's got an Indy hat. He lives here.
Did you see all the coaches were at Kenny Chesney at the Sphere? You had
Who?
You had Kevin O'Connell,
Okay.
Sean Payton,
What?
and Andy Reid all together backstage.
That
Kenny
show was
Chesney
probably
at the Sphere in
awesome.
Vegas.
I couldn't even fathom Kenny Chesney at that
So
Sphere.
awesome.
I think from the pictures that I've seen, he's taking advantage of it.
Way
I
better
assume
than you two.
Well, we're not going to get into that. Obviously, we've had our entire take on the YouTube program that we watched at the Sphere for $60,000 for the suite. Okay, we talked about it. They weren't playing for us.
No.
They weren't
playing
for
for
us.
anybody.
Big
No,
Mike.
they weren't for their diehard loyal
Well,
fans.
Mike Foss is their biggest fan. He said it sucked, too. So,
Poor Mike.
It was great.
Off the record.
I just didn't know any of the songs. I didn't know any of the songs, so it's tough for me. So I just got like 250 milligrams in me and just rode the ride of the night.
Which turned out not to be good because they threw up.
The words that they threw up there were certainly very, very aggressive. So I was kind of getting tripped out a little bit. I mean, it was whatever the case. The Sphere had a lot of opportunity.
It did.
A lot of potential. Feels like Kenny Chesney's taking care of it. These guys, whenever they're traveling like this, do we assume here they are? Kevin O'Connell is 7 feet tall. He is so tall. He used to be an NFL quarterback. People forget. Incredibly handsome, so smart. He was a great quarterback. Obviously made it to the league, was a backup for a while until Tannenbaum said, hey, sit down. Before you touch your seat, you're fired. Get out of here. Great head coach. Are they talking ball this entire time, you think? How often are they sharing secrets? How often are they texting each other? You know these people much better than we do. Do they share game with each other often?
I 100% think that football does come up in that situation. They probably just do a little small talk, but knowing Sean, knowing Andy, knowing Kevin, I could imagine them getting very deep in the weeds about their quarterbacks, about the offense.
Maybe 50 milligrams in there at the Sphere.
Boys of Falls playing in the background.
Peyton definitely enjoyed himself. I'll say he was sending me pictures, videos. He was having a blast at this thing.
Kevin O'Connell's like, this kind of makes me think we're going to hurry up.
I mean, Sean Payton's in the Boys of Fall music video.
He is.
Him and Kenny go way back. Oh, yeah. He's in the music video giving a speech to a high school football
Kenny was
team.
at Sean's wedding. Like, they are that tight, those guys, yes.
Oh, so they're having a good time.
Those guys
Great time.
Andy Reid and Kevin O'Connell probably trying to piece together how it all works, if I had to guess. Trying to deconstruct the entire show. They're probably asking Kenny Chesney what all they had to do. Like, think about the graphics that you got to put together.
Yeah, Dana White, he just won awards last week at the award thing. Emmys.
Sports Emmys?
The Sphere won the Emmy for like performance and I don't know what the hell it was called, but
this is great.
Dana White, Dana White won a couple of award things.
He's not doing a gimmick there. He legitimately forgot the name there.
Yeah, completely forgot.
He was looking for an assist earlier and nobody gave him one.
Because Dana talked about it on the show when he announced
he
wanted to actually win, Emmys for it, and they
Best,
did.
like,
They won a
visual
few.
experience.
Yeah, bingo. Yeah.
Hey, Shrek, you won an Emmy. Congrats.
Yeah.
Congrats.
We talked about you. You joined our show the next day. That was back when, even though I assume a lot of people were telling you should not come on our show, you would come on our show. So we're very thankful for you doing that. Always happened. The day after the Emmys, though, I mean, you were pretty hungover. You got pretty banged up after winning the Emmy and celebrating. That's a massive ordeal in the TV world. We're trying to understand this legitimately every year because we watch people that we have a lot of respect for get bummed out for not winning them. And I'm always just like, hey, you have an audience. You've had a job for 30 years. Like, that's the award. Like, I think that is in our eyes, but we don't come from the TV world at all. None of us probably thought we were going to be doing this. Nope. So it's like we're trying to understand it. It's a big deal. And is this like how legacies are made through these things? Is that why you got so excited?
I think it definitely, it feels like to be recognized, it's pretty cool. Now, the ratings are one thing and the celebrities, all this stuff. But when the people who vote on the Emmys actually deem you as one of those guys, it's pretty cool. Now, I haven't been since I won that Emmy. The night is eternally long. It is a
lot of awards.
4 hours. I think 59 awards are given.
Damn.
And I wouldn't say winning an Emmy has done anything that's going to change the way I look at things, but that night it's a really cool experience.
It feels like your peers
a coronation or
you've
something.
done good.
Yeah, and to see like, all right, because we at Good Morning Football had kind of a show that.
Hey, hell of a run, buddy.
Hell of a run. Hell of a run.
9
hell of a
years
show.
I was on that show. Love that show. Indianapolis has been great to our show, Good Morning Football. And we were always like, here's how football shows are done. And we were like, let's flip it on its head and do it a little differently. And let's kind of zig when everyone else is zagging. So to be recognized was really cool. But I think it's a travesty that this show hasn't won anything.
No, we don't nominate it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, with it being 4 hours long, if I put any kind of mental capacity into it halfway through the show, if we didn't win, I'd leave. I'd be so pissed.
Bro,
I wouldn't be able to
Dan
sit there for the
Patrick's
rest
show,
of
and
the
I don't know
time.
the relationship between those guys get nominated every year. And they lose every year.
We love Dan Patrick.
Dan
Dan Patrick's been good to
Those
us.
guys have been great. And they lose every year, best daily show. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, all right, at some point, like,
I saw
keep nominated them.
Seton was pissed.
No.
I think they joke about it.
They said they were honored to be
nominated,
which that made me think, like, you guys have been like the standard in this world for so long and have had an audience for so long and a job for so long and have set narratives in sports for so long. It's like, it feels like that's an award, you know? That's why whenever I see people get like so pumped up for it, I'm like, all right, I got to understand what this is. I think it like legitimizes legacies.
It's like,
It's how people view it.
Who votes?
That's the thing. It's a mysterious blob of people that vote. I think it's producers around different networks, and I'm sure someone at ESPN could tell us who does it. But it's more of the traditional, I think, guys who've been in the truck, guys who put on events. It definitely is the biggest night in sports media because everyone's there. So when you see a Scott Van Pelt, or you see, a Bob Costas, or you see even like
who won? Charles, right? Charles won the big one.
But I'll tell you what,
Jen Latta.
Jen Latta won 3 of them.
She dominated.
Congrats, Jen.
Our guy Orlovsky was nominated, and I'm telling Dan, I'm like, that's a huge. He did fart on air.
That's his thing.
On air.
That's his thing.
That's what he's known for.
Easy with our guy.
That's not what he's known for. He's known for a lot of other stuff, but he certainly has.
Your guy, maybe.
He's certainly farted on air.
But Dan got nominated
numerous times.
And he lost to Charles Barkley, and Dan was bummed. He's texting me. He's like, I want to win. I'm like, I get it, bro, but like Charles Barkley, like that, there is no shit. But you're a competitor, and you want to win, and so Orlovsky was genuinely bummed out that he didn't beat Barkley. I'm like, that's why you're good, Dan, because you want to get to that.
Dan's going to win that, Dan.
Let's go, Dan.
Not if Barkley's nominated.
Yeah, as long as Charles Barkley's on a microphone, I think everybody else should probably just understand what's going on here, have a little self-awareness. You're talking about a guy that can say anything about anything and it'd be good somehow.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley.
Did he get back to you yet?
Charles Barkley has a gift of not answering phone calls.
Can we get him in here?
Huh?
Has he returned?
No, he hasn't. I don't think.
They had a good survey.
Nothing. Not a single thing.
He's making the turn at Gray Eagle right now, so maybe.
Good course.
It is a good course.
It is a nice course.
All right, as we wrap up here from Indianapolis, Indiana, in excitement for Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight here at Cambridge. We can't help but say thank you so much to the Pacers for letting us be out here, be a part of this, feel like we're a part of this. To all the people that set this up. I mean, there is a community, a village of people that set all these things up out everywhere we go. Thank you so much for your efforts out here in the middle of a basketball court in the middle of the city. Shout out Barcode, new haircut.
Shout out, looks good.
Barcode got new haircut.
Haven't seen it.
Shout out Scott with the jibs back. Scott with the jibs back. We missed him at WrestleMania.
Yep.
It's great to see you back, Scott. You've had some great shots, good aerial views, good sweeping views of the buildings down here in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana. If you've never been here, you should come.
Gotta come.
We love hosting people. 400,000 plus came for the Indy 500 tonight. A bunch of big city slickers, coastal elitists will be here for Game 4. We love sports, and we're incredibly lucky that we, as a group of stooges, get to talk about it every single day. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We continue on digital. Nailed it, I think so. I could see it was a little different.
No, you got it.
Okay, so we just hit it. Yeah, just hit that. Thank you. Real host stuff. Real host stuff. Put that up for an Emmy right there.
Bingo.
Boom. Hitting the clock. I miss it 2 out of 3 times. All right. two out of 3 times I miss it. The police support me. All right. Hey, shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
I can't get down there. My wire. I can undo my. No, I actually.
Throw that thing.
Hell yeah.
Hold on.
Great mustache.
Let's do this.
Oh, yeah. Great stash.
We should do this. We should do this with the people.
I'm a Knicks fan.
You're kind of properly jacked.
All right, buddy. Great mustache. Properly jocked. You were over there with the Staten Island boys. Are you from Staten Island?
New Jersey.
Okay, you're from New Jersey. You're a big-time Knicks fan?
Big-time Knicks fan.
What's your name?
Chris Boyle.
Chris Boyle. I don't want to out you too much if you don't want to. Obviously, Jersey does what Jersey does. What is your profession?
Police officer.
Okay, thank you for your service, sir. I appreciate that. How long have you been a cop?
8 years.
8 years. Thank you for that. How old are you?
31.
Okay, nice. Well, keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate the hell out of you. This is the crew here?
DC. Yes, sir, DC.
You're from DC?
Jersey, but I'm a DC cop.
Okay.
Oh, so you're working down in the Capitol?
Yes, sir.
Oh, we've seen some things.
I've been in some things.
Were you at AJ's birthday party?
AJ Hawk had a birthday party there January 6th.
I might have seen him in there. I was there all day. It wasn't fun.
Well, thank you for your service.
Working?
Relax, guys. Hold on.
He was wearing a moose head.
Yeah, you're a Viking? Were you a Viking? Okay. Yeah, all right. Okay. We appreciate you for your service. Good luck to your Knicks. How do you genuinely feel about it? You're a cop, don't lie.
Oh, I love it. I love serving every day.
No, let's talk about the New York Knicks tonight.
No, I mean Jalen Brunson's the savior. You know, Francisco Lindor, shout out the Mets.
Fuck you.
We're good. We're Knicks in 6. Knicks in 6.
All right. Well, good luck. Okay.
Free throw merch.
Jesus. All right.
That's a good thing.
Nice to meet you, man. Thank you for your service, buddy. Yeah, hell yeah. Very smooth there with the dap.
Thank you.
Hit that.
Very smooth with the dap there. All right. He's a DC cop.
Metropolitan Police.
And he was there January 6th.
You guys
He's
can never
working all
take
day.
anything
With his
seriously,
job.
huh?
Yeah.
Everything's a joke to you guys.
He's working all day.
He was there all day. He it was iffy on
That's
working.
a wild conversation.
Was he
I'm
working for
excited
the
to hear what that
country?
convo is 20 years from now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff about that stuff.
Yeah. 'Cause he
Happy
could-
everybody's okay. Well,
Yeah.
except for those lost their life, obviously, rest in peace. But like, wild day in the history.
Yes.
And he was right in the middle of that. Let alone that. Think about all the other
So
things.
much
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
3 a.m., 4 a.m. I watch House of Cards.
Me
Bingo.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what that guy knows.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a TV show.
Yeah,
Huh?
based on a true story.
It's fake.
House of Cards?
Yeah, it's fake.
Based on Eisenhower.
Art imitates life,
Yeah.
bud.
You ever seen Shogun?
All right, let's talk about art imitating life. Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. Huge weekend, right, Con Man?
Yeah, massive. Over 100 million. I believe it's the biggest weekend in the history of Memorial Day. Great start for the summer of movies here. And, of course, TC's leading the way. He released a thank you this morning because he knows, just like everybody, the movies will never die, and he is the one who saved the movies. But massive for Mission Impossible. Everyone tweeting as well. I saw one of the best movies they've ever seen. I mean, basically, what we thought was going to happen happened this weekend. Expect this movie to get over $1 billion.
Shregs, are you a Mission guy?
I am. I'm a huge Ethan Hunt Mission Impossible fan. I have to tell you, the Pat McAfee fan in me was geeking out last Wednesday for you guys to have Tom Cruise on the show. And then we're doing a good interview. It's like, this could be anywhere. This could be on any network. It's great. And then he's like, my guy Ty. He's like, oh, I know Ty. And I like fell off my chair. I'm like, I'm so excited for Ty. He's like, I know Ty. Hey, Ty, what's up, Ty? I'm like, what is going on? But yeah, unbelievable.
Okay, we ask you.
Yeah.
Do you think actual, or do you think he was prepped right before he got on, and he's so smart, right? He has to memorize 100,000 lines a year, seemingly.
Yeah.
Doing 5 different movies. Got a great brain. Do you think Tom Cruise knew program? Do you think Tom Cruise was prepped right before he went on?
I like to believe. So I'm going to say he's a fan. He's
Hell
a
yeah.
viewer of the show. He watches. He thinks a lot about the guys, and he knew who Ty was.
Okay, we were
just
thinking that too.
watching
We're going to keep that in our minds.
That's the world I want to live
That's
in.
our
That's the word I choose
That's our
to live
truth.
in.
Yes.
Okay, and was he eating popcorn in that video?
That was a very odd way to eat popcorn, but I would never question
No,
Tom
it sounds
Cruise.
like you were.
It was a strange.
I
I've
only
never
ate popcorn this weekend that way. It was awesome. He eats so much better than normal.
I mean, sorry, Tom Cruise isn't a normal guy. Yeah, he eats popcorn like he's a Greek god because he is.
I have never eaten popcorn this way.
You should try it. It's awesome.
You're not Tom Cruise, Shregs.
Bingo!
Greatest actor of his generation. I think he takes it as a challenge to sit, 36 inches from a guy and just fool him. Like, I'm eating this popcorn.
I mean, he's watching.
Taking a picture, like, it's full of shit.
Nah, he's throwing that in there.
Come on, Bob.
He's a great actor, though.
You
Biggest
asked him a
superstar
question.
of all time.
How cool is it for you, though? Honestly, like to break the fourth wall. I'm watching it just on my TV, freaking out. Are you guys losing
We
your
thought it
minds?
was a rib.
Yeah.
Thought it was a rib. Thought it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
So like had like Fosso found email, starts pounding it around a little bit, banging it, boom, it about it, boo. Emails, pow. This is potentially happening. Is there a thought? Then his team and then movie team respond. And it's like, wait a second, I think we're cooking with gas here. These are potentially dumb people. But also could be fake. It's 2025. Of
course.
Could be talking to anybody. I think I potentially have been talking to Latrell Sprewell, but I have no idea.
I got texted by Latrell.
Is it
Sprewell.
actually
It ain't
Latrell?
him.
Okay.
Is it him?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Still
I'm
don't know.
in the same
I'm on
boat.
Twitter. Follow me with respect. Did you get the same thing?
Yeah, and he's posting all the photos of himself on Twitter,
I
and he's
did
saying
too.
that is him.
I don't know.
I got a text on my actual phone number.
Is that Latrell Sprewell? I do not know. So all of us are having conversations with Latrell Sprewell. That might not be Latrell Sprewell.
Okay, good to
So
know.
this, which leads it back to the Tom Cruise situation.
let
We're
us
having
know what you know.
conversations.
I showed my friends. I'm like, yo, Spree just texted
Yeah,
me.
I ride spinners. They don't stop. Yeah, for Latrell Sprewell created those. Yes, I'm the same way. So maybe we are, maybe we're not. Who knows? But same type of situation happening with the Tom Cruise situation. So that whenever he finally pops up on the screen, that was like the first time we really thought it was going to happen. And then he talks to us for 35 minutes. It was supposed to be 10 to 15 minutes. Clear. All parties agreed to that, myself included.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Then he gives his first answer. It's a 2-minute answer.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait a minute. So if we're only doing 10 minutes, this is like 3 questions. That's not going to happen. So we to be clear, 100% unprofessional. Wow, never win one of those awards you're talking about. It's 14 minutes into that thing, and Zito, myself, Foxy, and everybody in the back are having a conversation while he's giving an answer, and we're getting texts, and it's like, I think this is supposed to be over. And Zito's like, yep, just got a text or whatever from Foss. We got a text from their people or whatever, and then I get a text from Foss, and we're trying to figure out what to do. And literally he was like, well, this might be the last time ever, probably last time ever. That was a good fucking question. And we got to get this in. And if he would have hated it, I think he would have gave us clues.
Yep, he would have given you a 3-word answer. Said, all right, fellas, thanks.
Boom, I think he would have given us clues.
He was having a blast.
Yeah, but 35 minutes he was in. And then what nobody will talk about enough is afterwards, he gave me a 6.5 minute masterclass of acting.
Crazy.
Like crazy.
Is that the one you posted when you asked for
No,
his
did not
tips?
post this.
Different.
I don't know if this will ever see the light of day because we told him it was off air.
Yeah.
So we would have to get him to definitely approve of it. And I don't know. I don't know how that would all go.
Too much game.
Dude, it's the entire acting game.
Yeah.
Just gave it to me. This is how he views it.
Did it inspire you?
Yes, 1,000,000%. Yeah, it is. I thought to myself, I don't have enough time, I don't think, to do all the stuff that I'm supposed to be doing. Holy shit, or the brain capacity. But it feels like this is how you do it. And if somebody gives you a blueprint on how to do something and they've been the best in the world, it's like, oh, we should do that. And that's like, he just broke it down. And then immediately afterwards, he's like, all right, see you guys later. So like what he did for us with how long he stayed, how many answers he gave, what he talked about, what he was willing to talk about, and then afterwards breaking down something I know nothing about in a way that only he could, it was like, my respect for Tom Cruise is this guy's an anomaly.
Yeah.
This is a.
I love when he's referencing his movies and he's like, Samurai. Like, he just names him by like one word. He's like, well, when we did Samurai, I'm like, oh, yeah, I love Last Samurai. Like, let's go.
Jacked up Peter Strahan.
Let's go.
When he called it Mission, I think a lot of people
Mission.
were like, okay, that's what we're calling this.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the entire Mission series is how he views it. And then him thinking, whenever I think Connor asked him about the nostalgia of it wrapping up after 30 years.
On to the
all the
next.
Mission Impossible. Yeah. I got like 4 movies going on right now.
I got no time to be nostalgic. And like we finished this, and then we did the subtitles in Japanese in 3 days. I'm like,
Yeah,
what is
day before the premiere.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
Talked on 3 scripts.
Can
now.
I don't mean to.
Yeah.
I got to ask you though. Like, Tom Cruise is the top. Like, is there anyone else in the Pat McAfee that you would want to have on that?
No, they would have to say that. I don't know. I'll get
Like
tweets.
What about
with
you?
Cruise?
Just got to manifest.
Like up there
manifest
with
it right
Cruise?
now.
I'll get tweets from people that watch the show, and they're like, you should think about blah, 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 and it's somebody massive that I would never think about. I assume it would be, Lou Messi would be a big deal.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan would be unbelievable. He's getting into media.
Yeah.
I like that Michael Jordan's getting into media. I like that we're going to hear his
Jesus.
thoughts as opposed to Jesus Christ would be a big deal.
Jesus would be huge.
Bradley Cooper a second time.
Bradley Cooper the day after the Super Bowl was an amazing booking.
Thank you. He gave a good speech. Motivated the boys to go win the Super Bowl. Yeah, we're very lucky.
Brad Pitt for F1, maybe?
Brad
All these
Pitt, the F1
conversations-
movie. Brad Pitt.
All these conversations we have with people we view as very stupid because we started in a basement in this city. We're very lucky to kind of have the road that we have. We've been in the back of a box truck with no service. We've been in the middle of nowhere trying to figure out a show. A Zito production has taken us around the country and got us on air so many different times. And the people that have shown up here are like I assume some of the people that have supported us since the very beginning. And it's like to have LeBron travel early to Indianapolis to stop by and swing by and talk to us. Crazy, like absolutely crazy that it's happened. Tom Cruise coming on, crazy. Even Bubba Watson being like, would love to swing by before doing it. It's like crazy it's happened. Ryan Smith, the owner of the Utah Jazz, comes in for a Pacer game.
Even like Vince Vaughn when he came on.
Vince Vaughn, yeah, like all this shit's insane. And every time, I want everybody to know this, as soon as it's over, like you're giddy, we just talk about how stupid that was.
Yeah.
Like that is so stupid.
You get it. That's what I mean. This is, you're self-aware. And I'll also add this, the stuff for like Hans, the firefighter.
Hans Perez,
our dog. I'll tell you what though.
Hans.
There's a lot of crap on sports TV and a lot of different networks, and it's just like, that's a cool moment. That's cool. You guys are creating moments for people.
Come on,
so
Shregs. Hey, here's to the great city of Indianapolis, Indiana, which is lucky to call home. Thank you all for tuning in today. 8 o'clock tonight. Knicks, Pacers. Pacers favored by 2.5 as a legend named Jim Kelly stumbles in here to the Morris Bicentennial Plaza over there in the black hat, white shirt. Absolute dog. Massive New York Knicks fan. Not allowed to act like that tonight because he will be working. Better keep his mouth shut.
Beat his ass!
Better keep his mouth shut. There's some special people coming into this game tonight. There's a lot of special things that happen in this city. We're lucky to call it home. Thank you for hanging out with us in the middle of the day. Thank you for watching. Good luck to all parties tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. Schrags, you're the man for hanging out. I love Shams, thank you. Pacers, thank you. Everybody back in the truck, great work, and let's enjoy the hell out of this city. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3, team. Goodbye.